What's up, y'all? Happy Monday. Welcome back to the Call to Action channel here on Chill to Action. Oh, once again, happy Monday. You know me. It's your girl, Danielle, hanging out with my favorite co-host, Mr. Paul DiNuzzo.
Hey, it's me. It's me. It is PLD. What's going on, everybody? Tonight, Alex is not here, so I'm drinking my Jameson civilized fashion. So, what's up, everybody?
There you go. And tonight, y'all hanging out. Oh, we're so excited to have not one, but two very wonderful people inside of the Schmoedown space, Mr. Sean Sullivan and Jillian Mansolino. I'm sorry if I didn't pronounce it.
It's fine. Don't worry about it. Jillian Marie is just easier.
There we go.
That's why she uses Jillian Marie.
It's because no one can say my last name, so make it easy on everybody.
There we go. Jillian Marie.
Says my name wrong.
You understand. Paul understands. He gets it.
Completely understand. I gave up a long time ago. Whatever you call me, as long as you don't call me like jack off or something, I'm good.
Pretty much.
I call him that all the time. So
That's true.
Y'all, we're super excited to have these two wonderful spaces from the Schmoedown space on Chill to Action tonight. So Sean, Jill, thank you so much for coming on and spending your Monday with us.
Well, we always do anyways, so
I
might
know.
as well be on camera this time.
Might as well not. Yeah.
That's true. I like the little story he told us beforehand. I'll tell now that he was like, John said that when we're talking to him, he's used to hearing us, but he's not going to be used to responding. So give him a little break if he doesn't respond right away.
If we just stare into the abyss.
Starts typing, he answered in the chat. So you can talk to us.
Yeah. We're here. We're here with y'all.
And I will say, Lucas, it's rum and Coke, not wine.
It is rum and Coke. Sorry,
yes.
It's not a huge ass glass of wine.
And,
It doesn't make it any better.
Certain members of Schmoedown, your last name is actually Sullivan anyway at this point.
It's a little easier. Might as well.
Maybe one day.
Hashtag Schmo wife. We got 5 more years till that happens. We'll see. What's my
Sean, Jill, thank you so much again. So as you know, every Monday, we always like to start off with the very first question that we ask every single one on here. Why Schmoedown? What got y'all into Schmoes?
So what got me into it, I've been watching for long enough where I couldn't tell you when I started watching Schmoes and Collider and Screen Junkies, but I'm pretty sure I found the Schmoes through Screen Junkies pretty early, and then kind of fell off Screen Junkies, fell off Collider, kept watching Collider Live, Schmoedown, all that. But that's much more recent. My first direct interaction with the Schmoedown people was in 2017 at WonderCon. They did a live panel at WonderCon. And actually, it's funny because that's where Rachel Silvestrini first interacted. I didn't meet her yet, but both of us have kind of that same first interaction. The only person that remembers me from that is Tom Dagnino.
Of course he does.
Which is a wonderful person to have remember you years later when you kind of get roped into it. And then I introduced Jill to it.
I couldn't even tell you what my first match was.
2 years ago. Your first match had to have been the first match
Intergeekdom.
that we sat you down to watch was Silvestrini or Cushing versus someone in Intergeekdom, but I don't know
Yeah,
who.
I couldn't tell you what.
I think Mara was who hooked you in first.
Yeah,
Mara and Rachel, because it was right
Mara
around
and
when Mara and
Rachel.
Rachel were making their run.
that's when I started. I was like, ooh, that's what got me
So,
hooked.
but as far as when we got involved, last year at the award show,
Yeah.
we were sitting at a table with, so first I'll give a little shout out to another podcast. We were sitting with Jake Berlin.
Oh, okay.
And we didn't know him. We just were sitting at his table. That's one of the reasons why I made sure to go on his show when he had one, because we met him. We kind of ran into him a bunch of times in different places. And then eventually, one thing led to another, and I was a competitor and running into him again. But specifically on that day, I was wearing a very ugly
Wasn't
red.
ugly.
Well, I love it.
I love it too.
A red tartan sports coat
Oh, nice.
Bright red.
in the vein of Josh McCouga.
Nice.
Nice.
That day was also the day that Andrew Ghai won
19,000
awards.
Oh, yeah, we remember that.
You might also remember at a certain point, McCouga decided that Andrew Ghai wouldn't get any more awards.
I do remember that.
Which leads me to this.
Oh, look at that.
So I have this.
Oh.
And I've had it for however long ago that was.
Year and a half.
So.
Oh, that's right. Brandon did take our picture.
Yeah,
Brandon took our picture.
Brandon took a picture of us with Andrew Ghai. And I think almost every competitor that we can get a hold of signed it.
I think we got everyone except
I don't know if Brandon signed it, but I also don't know if Brandon was competing then or not yet. He might have came in that year. But yeah, so through that we, went to Saddle Ranch after the award show, like you do. Met Makuga, became friends with Makuga. And
one thing led to another.
One thing led to another. He's like, come to a taping. Well, Makuga didn't show up to that taping.
Yeah.
Probably because of a wedding.
Most likely it was a wedding, to be honest. It was like his 19th year. God.
And so we quickly met. Actually, I think the first people we met were PJ and Rachel Silvestrini.
Mm-hmm.
And so that was a lot of fun.
That was Kevin's first match day too.
It was Kevin Spence's first match.
Yeah.
So we met Kevin. By the end of the day, we were, hanging out drinking with Kevin at the undisclosed location that we all go drinking after tapings. Yeah, so that's kind of how we got roped into it. I had, after we had been to a couple tapings, I decided, hey, you know what, maybe because we know people and because we're here and we started going to a bunch of tapings, maybe I'll, try to throw my hat and talk to Christian about it. And I wanted to do Inner Geekdom.
Okay.
Of course, last year is the perfect example why not to do Inner Geekdom.
Thanks, Kevin.
Because of Kevin Smets, Mike Kalinowski, Brandon Chandru, and rumors of Robert Parker.
A certain spider.
Yeah.
So we'll see how he does. But if the rumors are true,
then we're not going to Inner Geekdom.
Then we're not. I'm not joining Inner Geekdom. So, fast forward to Spectacular. We're up drinking with. It was from left to right: Jill, Rachel, me, and Saul. And we're all answering on our phones, and I got, I think, all but one or two questions right on that match.
I don't know how you did that.
Yeah.
The confidence. I remember turning to you during the how many horns does Darth Maul have? And he went, oh, it's 10.
10.
Like it was like he just knew, and I was like, what the hell?
I don't know why I know that. I know it.
And
it's
I
up
asked
here.
you that. I said, how do you even know that?
Yeah.
Weirdo.
So go ahead.
I think if you watch Phantom Menace enough times and you're obsessed with the lightsaber fight at the end, you just kind of see his face in your head. I think that's what it is.
Yeah, well, because you can kind of,
I couldn't tell you what color's eyes Obi-Wan Kenobi has, let alone how many horns Darth Maul has.
I'm not going to answer it so Demalanta can't put it on his study guide, but,
Good point. Never know. He's always watching.
Always watching. Yeah. Always watching.
I know he is. He's probably not live, but he'll be, oh, yes, I have hair. It's a brown bookshelf, brown hair. It doesn't. But so Rachel Silvestrini was like, okay, we need to talk to Christian. We need to get you in. Is that better?
It's yellow.
Is this better?
There
is this
go.
better?
Oh, it's
no, that's
I love that one, but that's for I think maybe we were
different. So Rachel was like, okay, we need to get you in. Get you in the league, and we need to get you into get you into the Star Wars division. And so after the bar, I think you guys were there, was when we tracked down Rachel and I tracked down Christian and talked to him about it. And he said, well, when it gets closer, we'll talk about it.
Didn't talk about it.
We never talked about it. I was just in the draft, and that's basically how I found out the draft list came out and my name was on it. So
well, I was because he had posted it on the Facebook group, which was deleted maybe 10 minutes later.
Yeah, I remember.
And I just happened to screenshot stuff, and I was going through, and I was like, "Oh, we know him. That's cool. Oh, that." And then I scrolled down. I was like, And then I screenshotted it to like our group chat with us and like Kevin and Rach, and I was like, did you guys see this? We were like, what the hell?
Yeah, I had
none of us had any idea.
Apparently there were a few competitors that one of our friends who's a competitor that I don't know if we should be saying which other faction competitors we're close with. So Rachel and someone else. I've done something terrible. Rachel and another competitor, one of our other friends who's a competitor, apparently was well aware.
Christian, yeah. Billy Christian.
There we go. I fixed it. Okay. Oh, that didn't actually.
Just
damn it. Never mind. But yeah. So that's essentially how it happened. As far as how I got onto the den, I've met Kate once before that. I don't know how. I don't know if there's something that someone told her. Well, we had some interesting conversations that I can't repeat on air. So, but I don't know exactly why she chose to pick me when she did, but
because your
I'm
name is
very
so fun
happy
to
for
sing.
it. I think that's what it is. I think that it's the, Mulligan Sullivan.
How can you not?
Yeah,
How
that's
can
a
you
great
not
combo
play
right
with that?
Yeah,
Perfection.
Absolutely.
SULLIV.
And Sullivan.
I have to say in this story, you really know where your bread is buttered on this channel. You're talking about Brandon Hanna being your photographer. You're showing us an Andrew Ghai victory slice. You're telling us about how your first match is watching Kevin Smets. I mean, this is like all
we have
our channels.
Oh, we have other props too.
Oh yeah, I'm busting this out.
No, well, that's for later.
That's for later.
All right.
There's plenty of props. I'm all about. You can see behind me. I'm all about
a theater
props.
kid. I need the props.
I think Alex wants the slice.
What's your
that
price?
Alex, rumor on the street is you already have the second best Andrew Ghai memorabilia in the cane.
Right,
so
Alex has the cane.
I will keep the. Alex has the cane.
I'll trade you for the cane.
Yes, Alice became a commander-in-chief in the Action Army, and that was the joke, the Patreon tier that we came up with. I said, just put it out there, and somebody will be crazy enough to do it. And yes, Alice and Lucas were crazy enough to do it, and that's why they're getting the sword cane. And yes, Jake, I have Jameson. I might be calling Guy before the end of the stream. You never know. It's true.
Yes,
it happens.
It does happen.
It does happen, especially
our best moments happen after a couple shots of Jameson.
But Alex, to let you know, the award is going back to Andrew. I think he wants it. So
we've kept it tender.
We've held on to it,
raised it, and it's time to leave the nest.
And there's quite a few crude things on here from other competitors.
There's a lot of crude things on there.
It is no longer official Schmoedown since we're now PG-13 or PG.
You can't say that word anymore.
We can't say that one or that one.
No. Well, luckily for y'all,
say it on here.
Exactly.
We're
I can fucking say whatever the hell I want on it.
Rachel Silverstreeny appears.
Oh, wife, that's true. My live event wife, we love you for that switchblade.
That's my Saturday wifey.
We love Rachel Silverstreeny on this podcast very, very much.
Rachel Silverstreeny, who still holds the record on our podcast for the longest stream we've ever had. I was on Ladies' Night.
5.5 hours?
Like 5.5 hours, I believe it was. And then after, we had to stay talking to her for like another 2 or 3. Like she was like cooking breakfast at that point. We're still talking.
Does that really count? Let's beat it tonight.
We're going.
We're going to go all right?
Guys, call off tomorrow. We're
going
I'm 7 hours.
I'm out of work. Let's do it.
We're not going in tomorrow. Everyone grab your Jameson. Grab your White Claw. We're making
plenty of it.
Absolutely. Well, okay. You mentioned you want to do IG, but you didn't. Obviously, Smets kind of took over and Parker took over. Is that something you might eventually slide back into after you tackle the Star Wars and become Star Wars champion?
There is definitely a possibility. It would be more likely if I get a couple losses in Star Wars that I go to IG than getting the belt and going to IG, because I don't think anyone can take the belt from Alex and compete in another division.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
I think that Alex can get the belt and compete in another division, but I don't think anyone else can beat Alex and hang on to the belt.
No.
I think that if you have the Star Wars belt and you're anyone but Alex Damon, I think you have to hold the belt, and that has to be your one job. So that's my plan.
Believe in you.
And then we'll see from there. But for now, it's Star Wars, and if the fact of the matter is, Intergeekdom is crowded. There is a lot of competitors, and with 90 competitors on team rosters, actually 80 something competitors on team rosters, and plus the free agents, there's no time for as many matches, people competing in multiple divisions. So I think next year it's more of a possibility for me to do IG. But for this year, I'll stick to the one division. But hey, you never know. End of the year, if they end up doing an Intergeekdom tournament or something, and I can make my way in, I will do it. So we'll see.
So you're not saying no.
I'm not saying no. I will willingly say that I definitely, am playing along in every IG match. Where I can't do that in singles. I don't know.
Yeah, no.
I don't know the breadth of movies to do singles. I can
get a whole 2 questions right.
Yeah, we're not. It's strange that I think everyone who competes in the Schmoedown for the most part is huge movie fans.
Mm-hmm.
We're not. Like, we love movies, but we're not like cinephiles or we're not like constantly watching movies.
A movie in a theater that wasn't Disney or Star Wars.
Yeah,
you're not fanatics, shall you say?
Not the Cinnabon.
The Cinnabon boys. I'm gonna make that happen. They're gonna be the Cinnabon boys.
I'll bring them Cinnabons.
The cinnamon fanatics.
I don't know. See, Joe's face was.
I was like.
Speaking of that, Jill, how were you super into Star Wars before Sean? No.
I was a very casual fan. I was just telling our roommates. I couldn't tell you the last time I saw Empire Strikes Back before Sean.
I could. Oh, before dating
dating you. I honestly couldn't tell you. Now I could. We saw it yesterday.
No, we watched Jedi yesterday.
Oh, we watched Jedi yesterday. I was half asleep. I don't remember. I was like, babe, you're losing an hour of sleep tomorrow. But he's like, but I like this movie. I'm like, oh my God, okay, fine. But no, I grew up watching the prequels. So I remember little me being obsessed with pod races, which now that I look back at it, I'm going, oh my God, you're dumb. I can't stand episode 1. Although episode 2 is even worse. I'm sorry.
That's my opinion on it too.
Episode 2 is the worst.
I like episode 2.
But no, now it's now I dig it. I love it. I'm learning. I got a couple of questions right on his last match, and I was very proud of myself because had you asked me 2 months ago, I wouldn't have had any idea who any of these people are. So I'm a learning.
Jack, I actually legitimately hate sand. I'm not a beach for someone who has lived in Southern California all my life. I don't like the beach.
I can't.
I burn too easy, and I don't like sand getting in my crevices. And I have crevices. We all have crevices.
Yes, some have more than others.
God.
So I'm not a big sand person.
I'm not either.
I like the desert, but the beach not.
Also sand.
Yeah, also full of sand.
Actually, more sand.
But it's like
it's a different kind of
it's
sand.
Like packed down sand. You're not when you go to the desert, you don't willingly sit in the sand.
Okay. All right, I get what you're saying. I kind of get what you're
saying. That's fair.
Okay. That's fair. That's fair. I like that too. I like the idea of the beach much more than
a lot more than the beach.
I like I hate the beach. I couldn't tell you any of my Southern California friends who actually enjoy going to the beach. We'll go to a bar at the beach, but we will never step foot on the beach.
Yeah, I live in South Texas. I live in a beach town actually, and I don't ever go to but I don't mind.
Our water is also freezing.
Well, that's a whole different.
That's a whole different caliber.
That's a whole different thing. I was in Mesa a couple years ago for Warped Tour, and it was 117.
I would die.
It was to the point where the guys I was with, got on stage with their guitars tuned. By the time they got them, hooked up and ready to go, they were now out of tune.
Wow.
Because once they pulled them out of the case and tuned them, by the time they got on stage, the heat had warped enough to put them out of tune. Yeah, it was terrible.
That's awful.
That is awful. That is awful.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man.
But
big yikes. Hard pass. Thank you.
Not worth it.
So I want to circle back to Schmoedown really quickly and talk about your match with Adam Witt. That was
yeah.
And like what you're drinking right now, that was so much fun to see. The
thermal detonator.
Wait, yeah, the thermal detonator.
This is actually a replacement. The other one got lost at the studio.
Oh. I imagine that happens. But that
was it lost or was Dagnino around? That's all.
It was probably Dagnino, to be honest.
It might be Dagnino. I think he was sending it to Di Milanta for my DNA.
That's it.
To clone you?
Probably.
Yeah, that was a good debut. For your first match coming out, that was a really interesting thing. I love the nickname The Saint.
The Saint.
Yeah.
Too.
Is that yours or is that Christian?
It is neither.
It was, yeah.
Neither. Okay.
I actually had Christian actually wasn't present for my match, sadly.
Oh no.
He was off doing, he's doing 100 other things.
Right.
But so before the match, I walk in and Ellis says, "Hey, what's your nickname?" And I said, "That's a great question. I've got nothing." He's like, "Well, what Harloff pick? Where's Harloff?" And I'm like, "I don't know. He didn't tell me anything." And he's
Harloff's
like,
a busy man.
So Ellis came up with that one. And Christian says to me the other day, "Hey, who came up with the nickname? Was that me?" I'm like, no, that was Ellis. So we'll give all the credit to Mark Ellis. It's the one nickname he's gotten to pick. So
is it really?
Oh, I have no idea. I'm sure.
Oh, well, we're gonna tell that story.
I was totally ready to buy that. So
yeah,
I bought it. It's really.
Just
That's a good question. Is Clone Sullivan going to be in the movie or the novelization?
Novelization.
No, it's the Star Wars Adventures comic, which is the 10 and under comic line.
Is there a coloring book part of that?
It's basically already a coloring book.
Yeah, very much.
Do I get to color you?
Obsessed.
Lucas, I don't know if I'm going to get a new nickname, but I'm sure the way it is being around this show, I will probably get a new nickname on accident, and then Harloff will shoot it down.
Hashtag Switchblade.
So
Val Kilmer. Really true.
That's right. So chat, start coming up with those nicknames.
oh, no.
Janine. Janine's in there.
Janine. Hi,
Janine. We love Janine.
We love Janine. Janine's one of our favorites.
Absolutely, 100%.
Okay, so you say your first match. So Christian wasn't even around. Can you tell us how that went down? I know that you said before that you weren't planning to play that day. It was
so was a day.
If we take it back long enough, originally I was planning on playing that day.
Okay, all right.
And then about 2 weeks before, Christian had said, "Hey, you know what? Schedule's got to change. You're still gonna have your match, but we're gonna push it back a little bit."
Like a couple weeks, a little.
Yeah, and I had, because of when we taped it, and then other circumstances, it would be a couple weeks.
Okay.
Jeannie, I can't wait for our next tea party either.
I love tea parties.
Is that a real tea party or is it something?
It's always a good
Janine makes the best Earl Grey tea you've ever had.
Oh.
So
it doesn't even need milk or sugar.
Yeah, it's perfect. Exactly how they'd have it in London. I don't know anything about tea, so don't ask me.
I do. My mom's from England. It's perfect.
But so because of how much I had been studying, and I mean, especially considering how in depth the other competitors are in this division, I didn't know what to expect with Adam Witt. So I'd been studying pretty in depth. When the match got postponed, it was kind of a relief because I had so much going on that I wasn't going to have any time to study without stressing myself out. So I completely dropped the studying for about a week and a half before the match.
Yeah.
So when we're driving to the studio,
driving to the studio.
Yeah, like for other tapings, we're driving to the studio. I get a call from Kate Mulligan, and she says,
"Well, you look at me," and he goes, "Kate's calling."
Yeah.
And I look at him and go, "They scheduled your match today. I bet you they scheduled your match today. Why would they be calling you?"
So So we talked to Kate for a little bit. We hashed it out and found out that I would be playing that day. Drove back home to change because I was wearing just whatever, and I figured I should probably have some sort of something on.
Got the thermal detonator.
And we grabbed this and some whiskey, and off we were. So to say that I wasn't prepared as far as studying goes, there are certainly things that weren't up here that probably should have, like AV21. I hadn't deep dived into solo.
Right.
My studying had been very focused on certain things.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I kind of had a schedule for it. Was okay. These 2 weeks are going to be focusing on this, and then this, and then this. So when I took the time off, there were certain gaps, like AV21 was a gap.
Yeah.
So, and then as far as mental preparation,
zero.
My first time doing this, so I didn't really think about, okay, what am I, what's my character, how am I acting, all this, that, and the other thing. And so I kind of just stumbled out there, let Kate figure it all out.
Emphasis on the stumbled.
Emphasis on the stumbled.
Just kidding.
And then, and it turned out okay. But you can definitely see, I mean, the round one, there were the Leia question. I will never live that Leia question down because that is like one of my favorite Leia quotes. It's one of the best Leia quotes, and just in my head, I couldn't pull it.
That would actually hurt me a little bit.
I know. I had a feeling. What's funny is I think when the match first aired and we talked about coming on the show, I think that my first thought was, oh, Paul's gonna kill me for that Leia question. But the one thing Jill brought up, because Jill went and watched every reaction.
I did. I spent because he has friends over every Friday.
Every Friday,
so, and I'll do my own thing. And I literally spent, I think it was 6 hours, and I watched every single.
It was a while.
I watched literally everyone who posted a reaction on Facebook or the dungeon or the den or anywhere. I watched it, the entire thing.
Yeah.
I sat and watched the entire thing. And are we talking about how a lot of people answered Kira?
So a lot of people answered Kira on that question. So I felt a little bit better that like my brain not working instincts were.
I would say about 50-60%.
Yeah.
But they would go Kira or Leia. I think it's, and then like they weren't sure. It was like a toss up. And then when you're in that moment, it's very different. It's yeah.
But like, and especially even that first question that like I knew it was Boss Nass. I put Boss Nass down,
that question.
I love that question.
Oh my god, whoever wrote that question needs.
But it's written so oddly that you have to double. You have to double think it. I
had no idea what they were talking about.
Yeah.
Like, when they first read it, I was like, "Do you know this?" Because I have no idea what they're talking about.
Yeah. So, but I mean, definitely. And then once we got into round two, I felt a lot better. So once we got into round two, and
it was great to have Adam as your competitor too.
Yeah, we love Adam. We're friends with Adam. So it
made it fun.
It made it a lot more fun. It made it a lot less pressure than if I know Ken. I know other Star Wars competitors, but I'm not. I wouldn't say I'm friends with Ken. Obviously I've read his book. It's fine. But yeah, so I mean, and then even in, can you hear that?
Yes.
Pod racing outside.
Sorry.
Yeah, it's pod racing outside.
That's our neighborhood.
Go back to Malastare.
I love you, Julie. I love you for that.
I'm learning.
But as far as all that goes, I do want to say one thing about my match. As far as I've seen a lot of comments that, well, I had to check down to multiple choice in round two. I knew those answers, but I also knew that on the, accelerate to attack speed question, I knew, okay, well, it's either Lando or Wedge.
Mm.
If I'm wrong, I don't want to give Paul or Adam 2 points.
Right.
And then on the Ewok helmet or on the helmet question, I knew it's either Han or Luke.
Yeah.
If I'm wrong, I don't want to give him 2 points. So I will dismiss that right now. I knew those answers, but it's it's
strategy.
It's a strategy thing. And Which brings me to another thing that I am really questionable about. Yeah, 100%. And
Yeah.
the other thing too is I have a general question, and maybe you two can answer it because you guys are fans. Do you care about the trivia or the game?
Ooh, the age.
Because those aren't the same thing.
It's not the same thing. No.
Nope.
Yeah,
The trivia and the game are completely.
because everyone,
Yeah.
a lot of people said, well, Adam obviously knew more. I don't think so, but Adam also didn't play the game well.
That's why he lost. You
Right, and especially in this fan, I know in this fandom, I know you guys are big Trader fans, even though you don't want to admit it. He's a game player more than a trivia guy.
Did you see how offended we both just got?
Yeah.
And I
like endeavor, Sean. That's how we're going to end the show tonight.
Right?
All right. Prop number 2 coming.
All right, prop number 2 will make you feel better.
Oh, there you go. You're back.
Cheers.
All right, I'm sorry. Go ahead. But go ahead. You're absolutely right. Okay, so the game plays absolutely right. Ben is absolutely.
I think I've actually had one of those before.
No, I do. I do believe that gameplay is a very important factor, especially as someone who competes with it, because Adam Witt really showed up in round 1. Like, he got one wrong off of the technicality. So to go into that and to use that strategy in the gameplay is a very smart thing to do, and I commend you for that. Absolutely, 100%. So play the game, brah. Play the game.
I will add on to that is one thing I've learned over the years is that don't worry about the fans talking about your knowledge versus you do what you have to do to win.
Exactly.
And like sacrificing if you look a little lesser knowledgeable for whatever reason, but you're gaining the points and you're winning, that's all that fucking matters if you're winning.
Well, and the other thing too is if I look less knowledgeable but I'm still winning.
Just about to say that. Underestimation.
Yeah.
Dan Merle, Andrew Ghai.
I will take it.
Yes.
I will gladly take it. Andrew Ghai, Dan Merle.
Adam Witt's 5-pointer though.
Yeah, Adam Witt's 5-pointer.
I couldn't even be mad at that poll. I couldn't even be mad about it.
I mean, there's
one.
Did I know that one? I did not.
No.
There's
I couldn't even be mad about that poll.
Chris Adams.
I will admit that I did get there. I did, but for a second I was kind of like I had to go through all the Meridians in my head. I was like, all right, no, it's not.
And that's what Adam. Yeah.
Well, and Adam and I.
Lot Dodd. There's Dalte Defeat.
Well, yeah, and Adam and I talked about that, and we're like, we know there's X amount of Nemoidians, and I think I would have gone with Lot Dodd, who I think
Senator
is the senator for Nemoidia, which there's, I was like, okay, well, there's Lot Dodd. I know it's not, so it kind of just went to like, who the hell is it? And I don't think my brain would have gotten to Dalte Dauphine.
There's no way. I couldn't like I was in the back freaking out going, oh my god, he can TKO. Oh my god, he can TKO.
And that's the big thing too. I really wish he wouldn't have gotten it just because it would have been nice to have a TKO.
But then I was freaking out going, oh my god, he can TKO, and then he got it, and I literally went,
fuck.
I couldn't even be mad about it. And then I was talking to Chance Ellison afterward, and he said, this is the one moment I wish there was a fan cam. Everyone's face was just like, I honestly, I was like, okay. It was awesome. That poll was so good.
I think you should maybe with the new sponsorship we should get a fan cam, because I remember a couple of times they were showing behind the scenes stuff, but the Patreon used to show behind the scenes footage like Brienne would shoot stuff. And I remember going back to the Andrew Ghai Dan Merle match. They went behind the scenes of that and they showed like the crowd during like the last thing and just watching like Bibiati and like Sam going, what the fuck is happening?
Yeah, and especially with so this weekend you guys saw with can we talk about the throwdown?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, throwdown.
Okay. So,
the match that dropped today, no spoilers for that.
Yeah.
I haven't even seen it. So but with the throwdown,
spoilers, y'all. Just a heads up, we're gonna get into Saturday spoilers.
No, it's not a spoiler. It's not a spoiler.
Okay.
But the audience was mic'd for that, which was for the first. Yeah. So the audience was mic'd in studio for the throwdown match. I haven't seen it yet, so I don't know how different that was. But I think that it is moving in that direction.
Great.
There's definitely a difference behind the scenes in as far as production goes this season as opposed to last.
It's beautiful.
They did have the audio guy they brought in. I remember they mentioned that. Eric mentioned that. And Christian mentioned that as well. So hopefully get that, and hopefully get a manager cam also eventually, kind of thing.
Well, so
the manager cam, I would love a manager cam.
As far as the audio guide goes, I don't know if that affects studio matches as much because that's
Thank you, Eric.
Thank you, Eric.
So was the wheel area.
It was, there was over the backdrop. There was a
Luis, we salute you.
I love that. Salute to
Eric. That's good to know because usually in the last few matches of the day, that's where I'm standing with Brandon and running our mouths. So we'll have to know that.
And that's true too.
Well, and so it's funny because as soon as we found out it was mic'd, Bibiana was like, "Oh, now I can't say my snarky remarks." I'm like, "Bibs, you realize you can hear those on the tape. It doesn't matter,
And we love them. So
and I think it adds to. I personally like when you hear Bibs
on Bibs in the back.
I love that too. Absolutely.
That's the best.
A lot of times you have to tell the difference between who was there, but Bibs, you could always hear Bibs specifically. But hearing individuals that I think adds to it as well. I love it.
Yeah.
And it's
RB3.
I agree. Well, I think that's another thing that you can clearly hear in the tapes, right?
Okay.
Yeah.
Usually, also
it cuts through.
Yeah, because he's right on that. He's right on one of those front cameras, and I mean you can hear him very loud throughout that studio. So. But yeah, I mean, as far as getting back to the first match goes, I wish I would have had a bit of lead time as far as making myself mentally prepared. But I'm glad to have it over with, and I'm glad it's a win, so that I can.
In a way, there's that two trains of thought. Like the idea is like having it to be thrown at you, thrust at you. It's almost like you don't have time to really sit in it too much, and that might actually be a benefit.
Mm-hmm. And that's what we talked about too. We had talked about that going. It's kind of better that it kind of got thrown on us in a way because we couldn't.
It was out of our control.
We didn't have anxiety about it. So
and as far as it's kind of funny because, at least in the Star Wars division, there's only 3 of us who are LA based. Oh, Adam went. So 4 of us that are LA based, and then all the rest of them are out of state.
Yeah.
So Star Wars is, there's been other matches that we've seen over our time around it that, are thrown together last minute, but Star Wars is not one of them.
No.
Right.
So definitely, that is impossible for that to happen to Alex Damon or, DiMolanta or who else is an out-of-stater. There's the other Josh Quevedo.
Laura Kelly.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't actually know where Laura is, so I didn't want to.
She's in Chicago.
Okay.
Chicago.
So yeah, I mean, it's kind of, you can't just throw a match at those competitors because they're not here, And
John Roca might be entering the Star Wars Division 2 and Kevin Smets. So.
Yeah, but there's not a chance that John Roca can beat Kevin Smets. We all remember Bateman. So we will. We'll just have to see about that, and I don't think it's very likely at this point. So.
The tea and the shade.
I mean, I personally love the Outlaw as a fan. But of course, now that I'm a competitor, I just detest the Outlaw and can't wait for him to fall on his ass in the Star Wars division.
Star Wars, please.
Star Wars.
Is Jake in the chat? You're welcome.
Jake is in the chat. That's going to probably clip.
Yes.
You're welcome, Jake.
But yeah, so I mean, everything was kind of last minute. It was so I'm glad it looked like we kind of knew what we were doing. As far as Kate and I, because
I don't know what I was doing.
Yeah,
sorry, Jake.
Yeah.
What are we apologizing?
Singing the Star Wars song.
Oh. Does he not want to say
Yeah, because it gets stuck in his head. And it's always me that does it. Sorry, Jake, I love you. I'll see you in Houston. I owe you a drink.
So speaking of Kate Mulligan really quickly, she's done such a fantastic job with this her being her first time as a manager. The Den, I think, is a faction that is. I don't think that they're underrated at all. I think a lot of people really know where a lot of these people lie. I think that they're very much a silent assassin because the Finstock Exchange is notable for all of the belts that they have, and that's cool. And the Usual Suspects have a lot of hard-hitting players and Sam Levine as a manager, but I think the Den is definitely a faction that a lot of people should really keep their eye on and look out for. Do you have do you get along with a lot of the people in your faction?
There isn't a single person in the Den that I don't get along with. Because Rachel and Brandon and Alex are all very, very close. I am very, very close with Rachel. And I've gotten to know Brandon a lot better being in the same faction because, that kid's never out of character.
Oh my
God.
Character.
So it took me getting in the league and being on a faction with him for him to be out of character.
Is he though? Is he?
And even then, it's rare.
Is he ever out of character?
And I know exactly what he'll say. We're supposed to be playing characters. But I mean, I absolutely love Rachel. Rachel is someone that whenever there's anything Schmoedown related, we're talking to Rachel about. Alex is one of the sweetest kids you'll meet. I love an
Enye.
I love the Enye.
I love the Enye.
I can't. The one person I don't know a whole lot about is Tom.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
Because and that's
the hood.
Well, I mean, and part of it is because Kate does have to go down to the LA cemetery and find him.
Find him in a shadow somewhere. And then go. You have a match today.
Yeah. So I mean, actually, Tom gave me this skull. That is a gift from Tom. The first time we met. So
it's a dead body he found.
It's one of the many dead bodies.
Nice. I really appreciate all of the props being brought out today.
Well,
theater kid.
So this is my game room, so it's very D&D themed.
Yeah.
Hence the weird
nothing weird
back there.
Nothing weird all over it.
It's, the items are weird, but I love it. So
It all works.
But yeah, I'm very prop oriented. Jill's very prop oriented, so we will, I don't know that we'll ever have anything as good as the Heel of the Year award, but hey, we'll. Lucas, right there, there, all of them.
Look at that!
Wow. That one's written by Sam Witwer.
This is written by Sam Witwer.
Oh yes. Right.
So that I don't have Ken's book up here, but Sam's is up there.
It was up there.
We only like real champions here.
Wow! Ooh,
shots fired! God,
fired.
With you. Just
speaking of award slices, that wasn't the only award slice on this podcast or on this show right there, right, Danny?
Oh, I know.
Hey.
I know. Well deserved too.
Well deserved.
So,
you guys had my vote, that's for sure.
But yeah, as far as the
on it, by the way, I'm sorry, really quickly to interject on this. This is not a porg pooping on my slice.
Christian mentioned to me, see that one point. He's like,
what is it?
Upside down. It's the penguin.
What is? It's a penguin.
Penguin.
It's a penguin.
Ben Bateman penguin.
It's a Ben. It's a Ben Bangin.
Oh, it's signed by Ben Bateman.
It's a Ben Bangin.
But as far as what you're saying, as far as the Den goes, I think all of the competitors in the Den are either it's their first year or their second year in the Schmoedown, except for Rachel, which I think has one more season under her belt.
Correct us if we're wrong, Rachel.
But not a whole lot of matches in that first season. So, as far as that goes, everyone in the Den is very hungry and very much needs to prove exactly what we have and exactly where we want to go in the league. So I think Kate did a good job at picking people that that all share that quality. And it's really good because sorry, Rogue Suit from behind made me chuckle. It's
Rogue One standing by.
Yeah, so Rachel, there we go. It's technically her third season, but only one match in that first season. So I think Kate did a good job in picking, not picking any veterans who had too much ego or who were too set in their ways, and picking a lot of people that she can work with and that she can kind of get at a discount. So as far as I mean, look at Rachel Silvestrini. She got Rachel at a huge discount.
Oh,
Oh my God, we were stunned of we were all stunned of when she went.
deal.
And Brandon Hanna is going to kill it this season. Ben Goddard has already proved in his first match that he's not just a joke contender. Tom and Paul are both
Brilliant.
potentially brilliant.
And everyone craps on that match, but that was a punch for punch going down to the last round, tied for most points scored.
Well, but I mean, we both know, we all know how good they can be, and
Yes.
that's exactly kind of my point, is that everyone in the faction has a lot to prove. And I will talk about Saul for a minute too.
Yeah.
Because
The mystery of Saul.
I met Saul at Spectacular.
Yeah, me too.
I didn't know he was Saul until after Spectacular. And I was like, who is this guy?
He was
right?
Yeah. He
was sitting right next to me and
Nice
Rachel.
guy.
And
I
big
don't remember
beard,
the
blue suit, long hair in the
I was
ponytail.
also
Is Saul in the chat? That is the question, because Saul is always in the chat when you least expect
Saul
it.
is like Brandon Hanna, where he'll just like appear.
Yeah, it's
like-
out of nowhere. It just comes in and boom.
But
Saul will be here.
but Saul is, based on Saul playing on the sidelines, I think Saul will do pretty well this season.
Yeah.
Whenever he comes down to California, but
Where is
When
he?
he was at
he's in New York.
New
New York.
York Spectacular, we had the Action House stream, Ben and Drew's stream, and Saul showed up. And after the Action House stream left, we stayed late. It was me, Brandon, Janine, and Saul. We talked Star Wars like forever. So I know
Yeah.
he has a lot of knowledge, a lot of strong
Yes, he
opinions
does.
on things too. But fun opinions. So yeah, I think he's going to do very, very well for himself.
Is he just in singles?
Ben, Saul is strawberry blonde.
Strawberry blonde, yes.
Yeah,
I believe Saul is IG.
Is he IG?
Yeah,
Yeah,
he's
no,
IG.
he's an
That's
IG.
what he told me before. At one point, he was IG, but like
I think he could do Star Wars. But
I mean, you never know.
based on what I
There's
know,
a lot of new
but-
Star Wars people they're pulling out of.
I kind of feel like if you do Star Wars, that you have a good shot at IG, because if you like Star Wars, you probably also like a lot of the IG stuff. So you
Exactly.
kinda have that basis as it is. So it's not surprised that Alex Damon would try IG at that point, I would think.
yeah, and that doesn't shock me at all. And I know that a lot of people are saying like, oh, he does bleed. I think he did great for his first match in a division he wasn't comfortable with.
I thought it
So,
was so much fun to watch too.
he's gonna do just fine.
Yeah.
I agree. He tinks out live match. Yeah, it'll be fine.
I don't think he can beat those top 4 competitors, but
It's gonna be tough for anybody at this point. I think it's a tough top of the division. I mean, Kevin Spence last season miss a question. Did he miss like
No.
I don't know, certainly like small amount of questions the whole year. It was like 12 or 6, 12
And
questions.
Spectacular, I think he was going a perfect game.
I think Spectacular was
Spectacular, he had a
a
perfect
perfect game. So
Alex,
Alex accidentally studies Star Wars.
there
Yes.
you go. Fair enough.
Sorry, Jake. I saw Jake's thing. Sorry. Sorry, not sorry.
I'm not sorry. Star Wars. Star Wars.
Sorry, not sorry. You can sing it when you meet in Houston, and then I'll.
All the Star Wars stuff's on that side of the room, and there's not much of it in here. So
He'll find a friend that annoys you, and he'll do that in Houston probably. But
I'm excited about Houston. I'm super pumped about Houston. Just
Oh my God, we are
it is our first out of state live show, so that should be fun.
First out.
and it's Texas. Yeah.
And neither of us have
We've
ever
never
been to
We've never
Texas,
been to
so
Texas.
Well, we are going to Texas City, so that's technically where the Booker T Arena is. Please go make sure that you get your tickets on the Schmoedownlive.com. Come and hang out with us in Houston. I'm sorry, Paul, that you can't go and that we can't it hurts. It breaks my heart to not be able to see my work husband at that area where we bonded and all of that stuff. But I would love to see everyone, and I cannot wait to see Sean and Jillian over there in Texas at the Booker T Arena. There's literally not a bad seat in the house. So get your tickets for that at theschmoedownlive.com. Make sure you do that. Check out that website because they have amazing stats on there. Frank Janich does a good thing with all of the stats. The way that they update that website, it's so good. So I just want to plug that.
And make sure you suggest your cities too, because we wanna bring this thing to across the country.
One thing I will say, if anyone's out of state from Texas, tickets are cheap right now
For free. They're dirt cheap.
because of COVID-19.
Don't have a corona.
The Heineken virus. I mean, the Corona. Whatever.
Yeah.
Don't like
So
virus.
that was the selling point
For us.
was how cheap tickets were. We said, all right, screw it, we're going.
We can't
Sorry,
say
I
no.
We're actually paying more money to go to
LA.
the LA event than
And we live in Orange
Texas.
County.
Wow.
so
Yeah.
because we're getting a hotel in LA for the weekend. So the hotel alone in LA for the weekend is the same price as flight and hotel for Houston.
I really wanted to go. I will say this. I'll throw it on there. But my wife Kim is running a 10K at Star Wars weekend at Disney.
Oh,
Oh, go to that instead.
wait,
Wait, you're gonna be
Here.
here when we're there?
No. It's in Florida, in Orlando.
Oh,
okay.
I was gonna be so upset. I was like,
Yeah.
are you legit gonna be here?
It is a week apart, but it's just like I can't do both trips in the same month.
That's
Yeah.
fair. I get that. Are you gonna be at Free For All?
no.
I'm kind of grounded for a little bit. I splurged a lot last year. I'm going to be in New York, Boston, and I'm definitely coming back for Spectacular.
Okay.
Okay, we'll see you spectacular.
But definitely Spectacular.
Wait,
For sure.
Paul,
Yes.
what about August?
Ooh, celebration.
I'm
Celebration.
working on it.
Okay.
I don't know what's going to happen. I know I have a lot of stuff going on at that time. But
I feel you. I feel you. I get it.
Damn it.
I'm just saying, if you're gonna come to LA, August.
Not even LA, Orange County. It's our neck of the woods. It's not even LA.
Does seem like a good month. I know.
Yeah,
We're staying at Sean and Jillian's, Paul. Let's go.
There you go.
Ooh,
We have a game room.
we do have a spare room.
Give us your room.
Oh,
It's a mess.
that doesn't bother me at all.
Oh, clean it.
We'll clean it.
I have 3 kids. I don't have a clean house ever, so it's
Well, we have adult kids that live here, so
It's me. I'm the adult kid.
well, and our roommates.
Already. So
ooh, it's even more of a. Oh.
Tim,
And we live close to some very good breweries, and
Tim, we're still down to go.
and
to-
Celebration will be very close to some very good breweries
Tim,
too.
is it Bottle Logic?
Yeah, Tim
Logic?
Locke's Bottle Logic, and then we also have a couple other in that area too. A couple
There's
that
a
just
lot.
opened up. Yeah, for some reason Anaheim has kind of become this weird
The
like
brewery capital of.
pocket of breweries in Orange County. San Diego for a long time has had a ton of breweries, but all of a sudden Orange County they've just kind of sprouted up all over
I could name a good 5.
Anaheim. So
In Anaheim, yeah.
Love that.
And Disneyland is there.
Look at that, Eric. Oh, you're in for a treat. You're in for a treat.
It'll be mine too, Eric. We can.
oh yeah, I've never been either. So
It's
I
ours.
was gonna be your first.
no, if
I was
I can
only-
go with mine as well.
I went.
Are you going, Danny?
I'm trying.
Okay.
yeah, I wanted to go. I'm kind of newer to the convention stuff. Only been going for a couple years. Jill's been doing it for forever.
Forever.
Um,
I can't even tell you when.
But I probably could 2012,
12? No, that's a long time.
2013.
I would give 2015, 2014.
long. You've been doing that longer than that.
Yeah.
But
I will tell you. There's always something to do. I went to Orlando the first time in 2017. My wife gave it. That was my 40th birthday present. And
Orlando.
I love you, Orlando.
Sweet.
Yeah.
I can't hear Paul over you.
Me and Danny are singing.
No, but
Gotcha.
I get talked over
Gotcha.
all the time. It's always.
It's my favorite
You're
musical
used
of all
to it.
time. I'm sorry.
It's so good. It's so
I've seen
good.
it like 5 times.
We had a little conversation about it in the generals chat, and I had to send it because no one knew where Orlando came from. So I sent it in there, and then that night, like I just listened to the Book of Mormon all night long. It was so good. Sorry.
I love Book of Mormon. Love it.
Okay. Sorry.
Sorry.
no, you're fine. We're getting texts from our teammate that we have to answer. So
Sorry.
Oh, that's fair enough.
hi, Rachel.
Well, while you all kind of type that out for a quick second, we're gonna transition over to some Facebook questions. Y'all, if you are not, if you have not liked our Facebook page, make sure that you go that. First, really quickly, before I say anything else, I just need to say how grateful and how thankful I am for every single one of y'all who are watching this right now, and for everyone who has got us to hashtag C2A.
C2A1K.
We did it. I can't believe we did it. I can't believe that we hit that milestone. It's a big thing for us. March 28th is our anniversary. That will be 2 years that we've been doing this podcast. And I've been here since day one, and I can't tell you all, and I can't express it any more than I already have by just saying thank you. I'm touching my face so much, and I shouldn't be doing it. But
you're gonna die. Don't do it.
I'm gonna, yeah, I won't be Houston. Yes, like the video, comment, subscribe, all of that for a second date. Y'all know how that goes. Hey. But while we do that, we're gonna go ahead and get into some Facebook questions. So please go and like our Facebook page as well, so we can get those numbers up over there. Also, thank you so much. All right, Paul, you ready for this?
Yeah, go ahead.
I'm going to get into it. So first question, we don't have very much, but first question from Jeremiah Morris. He asked, favorite non-Star Wars movie?
Okay.
That, it's funny, I've thought about this lately, and I have no idea. I will give you two of them. The first one is a weird choice, Lord of War, with, oh God, I can't think of his fucking name.
This is why we're not in singles, guys.
Jared Leto and Nicolas Cage.
Right, yes.
So yeah, Lord of War, which is like a weird choice. I don't know why I like that movie. There's something about Nick Cage narrating about selling guns that I just, it's just so strange to me.
Nick Cage in general, I gotta tell you.
And Jared Leto is great in that movie.
Yeah, but that opening scene where they follow the bullet, so good. That's a great.
Yeah, it's great. Then the other one is controversial. It's Iron Man 3.
I'm a fan of Iron Man 3.
I love Iron Man 3, but if I'm going to pick any Marvel movie, Iron Man 3 is not the right answer.
No.
He's a sucker for Iron Man 3.
I don't know why. I love Iron Man 3. So,
What about you? What are your answers?
Oh God. What do you know what mine is?
Yeah, it's Tangled.
It is Tangled. Yeah, Tangled. Yeah, that's probably my I've told him, like, I'm obsessed with Disney. Disney's like my thing. I told Christian this too. He was like, "Do you want to compete?" I'm like, "No, I'd be shit. But if you do like a Disney league, like I would be champion." Sorry, Rachel, I love you.
Sorry, Rachel.
And I told Sean, I said, when we get married, there's one Disney thing that I want, and I want lanterns.
And yeah, so we have the
So he made me for our anniversary or my birthday.
Oh, I don't know.
One of
something.
Try on my stream.
We have the Tangled lanterns hanging in the bedroom.
Yeah, he made me Tangled lanterns.
So this room gets to have all this shit, and that room has
Tangled
crap all over it. So we're adults.
I'm almost 30, guys.
What do you want from us?
I'm in my 30s, guys.
Thank you. Oh my God, Eric, thank you.
There you go.
Yeah, no. For Christmas was the flower.
Christmas with the flower. He made me the golden flower, and it's in a really cute glass thing, and it lights up. Oh my God, I cried.
I had to send it to Rachel to make sure she, is this recognizable that I do it right?
Yeah, Rachel helped with that. So thanks, Rachel.
Is that a part of like the figurine painting and stuff that you do?
So it was tangentially related. I've always kind of done. So I won't say that I do cosplay in the same way that Jill does, but I like to make things. So for a long time I did, I made my own Iron Man chess piece that I just super glued onto myself for conventions.
It lights up.
Nice.
Robert Parker.
And actually, I think the photo you used for the thumbnail is after a convention because my beard is still growing back from shaving it down for Tony Stark.
Nice.
Your beard gets a little more bushy. I love it a little more full out.
I love it.
Yeah, I'm trying something different this year. I used to keep it pretty short, but it hides the chin better. It's slimming. Right. But yeah, so it's I have half of a Mandalorian armor suit that I've built. So it's more that side of it than the minis. The minis were kind of a compromise. I don't really have a space to do the larger stuff anymore. So that's why last year when we moved into this place, I started painting miniatures as a outlet for that. So needed something to do with my hands, and that was going to do it. And I see Lucas, lots of D&D minis. and a little tiny bit of Warhammer. In fact, there's that full
That's
shelf of
all of
Wow.
that is minis. All of this is minis.
and there's more over
there's
there.
more up top. There's more over here. Yeah, there's a lot.
That's awesome.
It's cool. Yeah.
Racecraft looking in a good
Yes,
way.
it is.
Yes, it is. I think it's a little more tame in the match because I shampooed it and stuff, whereas today just getting off work.
Oh,
Alrighty, second question from the Facebook page from one of our favorite people in there. Oh,
I did accidentally.
from Megan McCurley, Dr. Megs, we love you so much, our stat lady on this Call to Action network. If you could live on any planet in the Star Wars galaxy, which would it be?
Ooh.
I know mine.
Now, live or visit are two very different things.
Ooh.
Because I would like to stay alive for a long period of time. So I think the right answer is Naboo, and I think
mine.
anyone who says otherwise is
Wrong.
kidding themselves, because that's the only one that you can safely live without having crazy survivalist skills or being a senator. So
What about Cantobite though?
same thing. Your alcohol poisoning is a killer.
It's a kind of spot in Coruscant to live. I feel like somewhere in Coruscant.
Coruscant is.
But I think that you have to be like affluent. Otherwise, you're in the lower levels, and
it could be.
I thought about it.
Above, maybe. I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah, I guess you could probably get away being like loosely attached. I mean, I guess in Clone Wars we see the people that kind of work for the Jedi.
Right.
I guess you can, as long as you have a pseudo government or religious job, I guess you're fine. But Video Drew's in here. Oh no.
What's up, Drew? We love video.
I love Drew. I love Drew so much.
Yeah, I think Cantobite, 100% is too noisy. I think Naboo is beautiful. If they put a nice, condo community on Endor, that'd probably be my choice.
Oh yeah, but there's a lot.
Yeah, exactly.
Murderous
Yeah,
even though they're not canon, you do have those freaking weird Battle for Endor creatures there also.
I think they are canon. I think they've been put in somewhere, but I don't remember where.
I don't know.
I kind of have that niggling feeling too. I'm not quite.
Yeah,
sure. But
I don't remember.
Get Teak Kid, and that's what I want. I want to see Teak.
Yeah. Well, and I mean, but at the same time, if I want to go live on Endor, I can just go up to Redwood National Park. I mean, it's a real place. So,
just right up north.
But Partis, I would say neither. I would go with Scum and Villainy.
Scum and
100% bounty hunter all the way.
Yep.
Sweet. I go skiing on Hoth. Well,
visit,
a
not
great,
live though.
Yeah.
Or Alderaan before it was blown up. That's probably the best place to go skiing. Ski resorts everywhere.
Alderaan is beautiful.
Yeah.
But
Where Star Wars goes over my head. I'm sorry, y'all.
It's fine. Sorry. I was you like 6 months ago, so I get it.
Just get way too in depth on it.
Just help write study questions for Star Wars, and then
I am. That's all I gotta do, right? I am trying to
then
start.
you know what Cantobite is.
I don't remember how Harloff Minor was described. I don't even know. Do we have a decent description of it?
Is that
there wasn't much. It was kind of like a throwaway line.
Harloff Minor is a planet named after Christian.
Is there? Oh, you told me about that. That's right.
In Claudia Gray's book. That's right.
And
It was
and then one of the characters that looked
was
like
it the
Elvis.
Leia novel?
Yeah, I believe it was
Bloodline.
I believe it was Bloodline. I want to say it was Bloodline.
Danny, you and me.
It's shown up again. I know that, but I don't know if we have a good enough description for me to get. It was a jobber planet.
So we have a planet named after Christian, and we have a character that looks like Ellis.
That's true. Yes.
Don't tell him that.
Sorry, Mark. Sorry, Mark. I love you.
All right, last question from the Facebook page again from my Dr. Megs. What surprised you the most about the experience of being on the desk or any part of that day in general for your first match, other than obviously being super surprised that you had to play that day?
Yeah, I think that's 100% it. As far as surprises, I knew I was going to be nervous on the desk my first time. What surprised me did not happen on that day. It happened when the match aired. what surprised me was, well, two things. What surprised me was how good Adam Witt was.
Brilliant. Brilliant.
Because him and I had talked a lot about Star Wars before that. I mean, you know, we knew we were playing each other, and there was no animosity as far as that goes. But from what we had talked about, he had made it seem like he wasn't going to get into the nitty gritty as far as like, you know, his 5-pointer or, you know, AV21 or anything like that. So it surprised me how much he did just naturally know, because I know for a fact he did not study that stuff. I will also say I'm pretty sure that he will study it now, but I know he originally didn't study that stuff.
He'll be a force. Be right.
Yeah, I think he's going to be very good in that division.
Yeah.
The other thing that surprised me was how much Nerd Chronic does for those promos, because we were in there for probably what felt like a lot longer. So, and I definitely think that there were moments where, you know, I would say something, look confident on the camera, and then go, "What the hell am I doing?" Like, turn to, you know, it's Dwayne and Eric in there, and I would say something and then just turn like, "What am I doing? Am I doing this right?" So Eric 100% gets all the credit for that.
Hashtag Yodi Award 2020.
Yes, Eric
He deserves the Yodi Award 9,000%. That kid.
And Dwayne is
and I love Dwayne, and I know that he says that, but it's less about how I think I did. It's more about it's just a weird experience. And I think that everyone feels that way. That is a not on-screen personality coming into this, because let's face it, a lot of the people involved in this league are on-screen personalities that then come into the league. A lot of the newer people like myself and, you know, Robert Parker, I know does some on stage stuff, but on camera less so. You know, Rachel's not an on camera person. I don't know how much, you know, but I mean, if you just look at the sophomore and rookie classes, it's a lot less on camera folks. So, you know, having someone like Dwayne and Eric in there to kind of be that system really works, and it really makes it the Schmoedown that you guys are used to as far as fans, and that we're used to. I mean, you know,
they make the
not that we're not
for sure
huge fans of this stuff too. So,
I mean, I've mentioned this before. I low-key, one of the most exciting parts of my life recently was when Eric made me a little mini edit of the Danie video of me seeing the Falcon at
oh my god,
I love that video.
I love that video.
By the way, Paul, that was my face too.
Literally.
So,
honestly, God, although he would have murdered me had I filmed it.
Less so about the Falcon. It's more the
entering
the streets and stuff.
Yeah.
Like
there's video of that with Paul somewhere too. But
yeah, it's insane.
He loved Star Wars Land. He loved it.
Yeah,
so much fun taking him there.
I could have stayed the entire freaking weekend if I could.
Really, now, every time we go to Disneyland, that's all we do.
Well, I have a feeling that it's going to get to the point where we're going to go to Disneyland. I'm going to tell Jill, okay, go have fun. I'm just going to hang out here. You know, because I love Disneyland. I like Disneyland. I don't. It's, you know, it would be. I think that one of my study methods will have to be bring my study material to Galaxy's Edge and just hang out there and study.
In the atmosphere. Oh, okay, that's
yeah.
That would be amazing and wonderful. There, like, I wish that there was more stuff, video about Paul. But I'm so glad that I got that little bit of it.
I'm kind of bummed I don't have anything now.
Being in there with like Star Wars fans really made me appreciate the world a little bit more. No, like literally the entire time. Like it's
that was
like
him.
Yeah. Like, as soon as we walked into Galaxy's Edge, it was a huge.
Paul, literally.
Well, and I appreciate that. Like, there's a lot of little things that it's nice that they didn't. It's nice that they didn't put any of the Disney stuff in there.
Yeah.
Because that would just kill it. And to me, to be honest with you, I'm not a big fan of the ride. I haven't been on the new ride, but like, I'm not a big fan of the Falcon ride. You know, there's some stuff that kind of I don't care about, but I will legit like go spend a day at Disney just to see the atmosphere, because that's really what you know, like the X-wing, and I think there's an A-wing there too.
Fighter,
Isn't
and the TIE fighter.
Yeah.
Do you know about the TIE fighter?
that was supposed to be Kylo's ship?
That was supposed to be Kylo's TIE fighter in the scrapped script.
Hey.
So, because they started making Galaxy's Edge when it was Trevorrow's script. So when they asked for ship designs, they took Trevorrow's ship design, which never made it into a Star Wars movie.
Yeah.
So
Nerd.
That nerd. Oh,
Very
Yes.
interesting.
Jake, 100% nerds.
You see you on there. Welcome, Natalie. Glad to have you aboard.
Yeah.
I miss them too. I know. I need to get back into it. It's been a hot second.
Yeah.
They're not talking about role play like I do. They're talking about World of Warcraft. Right?
No.
No, what's that?
Oh.
Blank
No,
stares.
Tumblr.
Oh God.
Oh, Tumblr. Shout out to Tumblr. Woo! Back in the day.
Back in the day.
I think they ruined that site. Right, didn't
No,
they?
because it got sold to Yahoo.
Yeah.
You're
And
the
then
reason why it shut down. I get it. It's fine.
Oh no, I was a hardcore Tumblr role player, man. Hardcore. That's another discussion for another day.
Anyway, so
Yeah. I did see that video. That was a
Yes, I have.
very sweet. So I do have one more quick Facebook
Okay.
question
Let's go for it.
from our dear sweet love Rachel Silvestrini. So she reached out to me and
Oh
she
no.
asked Jill and Sean's favorite Schmoedown memory.
Oh, there you go.
Are we talking like studio wise or
Is there a bias here? Because Rachel's asking the question.
does it need to be
Not at all.
Directly.
Rachel.
Black Hearts, exactly. Directly Schmoedown related.
Oh my god, there's so many.
You know,
Okay, I can tell. I know mine. Okay.
I'll let you
I
go
know
first.
mine. So my all-time favorite Schmoedown memory was Spectacular, and so it was me, Sean, and Rachel during Kevin's match, and so we've been in the community as long as Kevin has, because we were there for his first match and we became really good friends his first match, and but we were there when he won the belt.
Yeah.
And Rachel and I were crying, like hardcore crying, and because we were up in because we were up in the I have video of it too. I have video of the moment he wins.
I've seen it.
And we were up in the balcony, and then as soon as he wins, we run downstairs, and we're down at the bottom, and we're just like watching him as he's holding the belt with him and Kaiser. And oh my god, that has to be probably my favorite, because we've been with him from the beginning and seeing him study and how hard he works and how much he deserved it. No discredit to Mike, because Mike is brilliant and I love Mike Kalinowski.
Hey, Alex.
But
Hey, Alex.
it's Anye.
So my favorite Schmoedown memory is probably it's probably the night of the draft. Just because it was, there's a different feeling. It made it a lot more real for me as far as getting drafted when I did,
Right.
because Rachel and I had a pact before the draft that I pulled back on for reasons that I will get into. We said we would drink until we were drafted. So each one of us would drink until we were drafted.
Right.
And because I was a rookie, and because there are a few managers that I know, there are a few managers that I have a pretty good relationship with on a personal level. I did expect to get drafted. I did not expect to get drafted when I did. I expected Rachel to go third or fourth round. And there was no food, Chris.
No food.
There was no food.
But so because of that, because we found out, okay, there's going to be, X amount of draft picks the night of, and then everyone else is going to be drafted the next day. I said, well, I can't drink for a straight day. Like, that's not going to work. I assumed I was going to get drafted on the Twitter round after, because a lot of people didn't, a lot of the managers, there's 3 or 4 managers who knew me, maybe less actually at the time. There's a couple managers who knew me, and everyone else was going to be like, who the hell is this guy? I'm going to draft Scrimshaw, as far as that goes, I expected, okay, well, Rachel, you'll get to stop drinking and refresh, and I won't get to stop drinking until the next day. So I'm not doing this. So it was kind of funny when I got drafted when I did, and that feeling of just like, okay, this is real. And then the feeling of, why the hell did Kate draft me?
Yeah.
So, which I could not be happier with where I am. If not for Kate, for the faction we have, being able to have Alex and Rachel and Brandon and, and Paul and Tom and Saul, which is just
Amazing.
Saul, it's
Guy on the street.
I love Saul. I love Saul. I wish he was here so that we can, drink every weekend and just have
Party.
He's a character. I love that guy. But yeah, so I think that's probably my favorite memory. Aside from that, it would be the first time I met everyone was at WonderCon a couple years ago. So just as a fan, very weird. I remember talking to Scott Mance for 20 minutes about the Beatles. I don't like the Beatles.
How dare you?
I don't hate the Beatles. I'm not a Beatles fan, right?
How dare you?
But when you're talking to Scott Mance about the Beatles, it doesn't matter what you feel about the Beatles. You're gonna love the Beatles when you're done with that conversation. It's
about Queen, actually, to be honest with you. That's what I do the same.
I mean, meeting Tom Dagnino and figuring out who Tom Dagnino actually was a big, that was a lot of fun, and had a good talk with him that day, and that's why he remembered me. So, we love Tom. Say what you will about Tom's management. Tom's a great guy in person. So
he's definitely a good guy in person. I want to throw this up there just so we have a C2A exclusive. Alex Mansolino working on a song called Cherry Blossoms over here.
Don't forget that Enye, y'all. Please go check out Alex Mansolino on Spotify. He's on there. I love his music. I actually put it on my salon playlist, so it plays in my salon every day. So. I'm a hairdresser. I own my own space. That's
girl.
That's my real job.
Girl, do my hair. When I go to
so yeah. Can I not get my hair cut before Houston, and will you just fix it?
Can you just do our hair?
Yeah.
All right. Cool.
Yeah. We got plans.
I actually have to because I'm an educator, so I have to go from Houston that weekend. I have to go straight to Austin. So shout out to the Cinefanatics because I will be in Austin that same weekend because I have to go and teach a class for other hairdressers that Monday after.
Okay, so not that same weekend, the Monday.
Yes, yeah.
Okay, good.
So I have to go from Houston to Austin. It's my job. It's what I do. I travel. Anyways, sorry. Okay.
I wanted to touch base real quick on Jill, your answer about being Smets winning the title and being with him the entire time. We definitely can relate as call to action people, and because just like Jake said, we're there for Bateman winning the title, and we know how hard Bateman had been working.
Yes.
Forever. So having them both win the same thing, because Smets is action army too. We know this. Smets, we love that. Kevin Smets, totally action army, and he did that. He came out right up, and Smets and Bateman together were just like, it was just a great moment outside.
It was an action army night. That's
that's what I love Ben and Drew so much. Like as far as they're some of the nicest people. I mean, and it's very strange, seeing them. It's very strange getting to see them at the studio and then being like, Ghai asked me the other day, how do you like being a competitor? I'm like, it's weird. It's weird. I'll say it like that. Desk. It's weird. But
fair enough.
I'm going to make you cry.
Danny, no crying.
Oh my god, I know. Danny, me too. Oh my god.
It's every Monday for Danny. Every Monday.
Every Monday she's like,
welcome to the call to action.
Welcome to Cry to Action, as we do. We love it.
Anytime I'm on.
So I got to ask one more question because we haven't talked enough Star Wars yet.
Oh, there we go.
So
It's
I
a
want to pitch me what you want to see as your next Star Wars movie.
Your next Star Wars movie?
I want to
What
see
about you?
what do you want?
So what I want, we already have.
Okay,
That's Mandalorian.
that's the Mandalorian. Okay, fair.
Yeah.
But other than that, I would like to see. I'm really curious for the High Republic stuff, because
That's the new
new
thing.
200 years prior.
Okay.
Because
Luminous
it's Project Luminous.
Okay.
It's the perfect intersection between, having a little bit of the KOTOR flair without it being, 100% a retread.
Right.
And without anyone being upset because, oh, well, that's not my KOTOR. Like, look, bringing it back to Marvel for a minute, I know a lot of people who are upset because Civil War wasn't Civil War in the comics.
Mm.
That was my gripe.
Adaptation has to, you have to have adaptation to have a movie.
That was my gripe.
So as far as that goes, I'm very excited for what Project Luminous is going to be, and I would love to see kind of a, I don't even know. I want to see some sort of epic, in that we get the Jedi Padawan dynamic, or two Jedi, dynamic, or Jedi and scoundrel dynamic in that. But truth be told, I'm with Christian Harloff on this. I think Star Wars needs to stick to TV for a little bit.
I do.
I agree. And I'm not even like deep into Star Wars, but I genuinely agree because as someone who is not in that much into canon and all of that stuff, that's how I will get more into it.
Exactly.
But 100%. I'm looking at the thing. Jabba gangster movie, yes. I'm not.
Wiley.
I'm not that excited for Solo. Or for
Saul, you loved Solo.
I can't concentrate on two things at once. Not that excited for Obi-Wan.
I am.
Yeah,
I'm curious.
I'm very excited.
It just feels like I'm not a fan of making the universe smaller.
I to a degree, I will just push back a little bit and say we have the Mandalorian as something. I think it's okay if we go back and forth a little bit.
Oh yeah, well, I mean, and it's one of those things like it doesn't matter what it is, I'll watch it. I've been watching Star Wars Resistance, which is not a show designed for me, and I love it.
I still watch it.
So I just think with when we get into like stuff with Solo or with I keep saying Obi-Wan, it's for me, it's going to be less about Ewan McGregor as Obi-Wan. It's going to be more about the world around him. The stuff that excites me in Star Wars is a lot more of the backdrop stuff and the, here, we'll do this.
Ooh. Okay, Sean's doing something that I always do on this podcast is pulling a book out of the bookshelf. So we're going to let Sean do that. Go for it. No, bring it back.
No. So it's, because I'm the RPG, a big RPG fan, it's, all the nitty gritty background stuff is really what, really what interests me, because I prefer the stories that are not front and center. Anakin, Obi-Wan, Luke, Han, those are great. But I love Solo because it's a story that's inconsequential.
I agree. I do love that. People took too much, like they didn't need it, but like who cares? No, you don't need it, but it's still fun.
And that's why I love it.
Right.
But I'd like to see where I'm excited for Cassian. I'm excited for to see where the Mandalorian goes. But as far as what the next big Star Wars movie is, I would like to see something completely different in an era we haven't seen on film. And I think that you need to go back and not forward. I've heard a lot of people say go forward so that you don't step on anyone's toes. They did that in Legends, and then we got
Step on all the toes.
Cade Skywalker and all that. And
don't talk bad about Mara Jade, and we're fine.
Mara's fine. I just don't want Luke Skywalker and Boba Fett's great grandson, because the family line married in or something.
Yeah, I get that.
That was weird.
Yeah, I get that.
A weird time in Star Wars.
Speaking of it, I would like to throw out I love Talon Card. He was my favorite EU character from the day.
Talon Card?
Oh yeah, I love Talon Card. I love him. He's Legends.
I figured.
Yeah.
It was Mara Jade, but
He was a neutral guy. He eventually ended up being more good than bad because what Han Solo was, if Han Solo was like a more of intelligent information gatherer, pretty much.
Mhm.
got it. Okay.
He was
And
really cool. Smart as hell.
and him and Mara Jade premiered in the same book.
It's true. That is true. And he was a good foil for everybody talks about Thrawn, but like Taylor Carr actually did a good job like maneuvering around that intelligence of him. So we're getting really
Yeah,
yes.
I like Thrawn. But he's too Sherlock Holmes. You want to marry Sue in Star Wars? There's your Mary Sue in Star Wars.
Space Sherlock Holmes.
He always
Yeah.
has like that.
Ooh, Sherlock Holmes in space.
Alex, if you want to read a Star Wars young adult, read Lost Stars by Claudia Gray. It's a very
Lost Stars is
What's
fantastic.
the book you just gave me?
Or better, Plagueis.
You gave me Plagueis.
Better, listen to the audiobook.
I
Yeah.
know about Lost Stars only from Ken Knapsack's book. So
it's perfect because it lets you're in familiar territory at the same time frame as everything going on. You put your from such different perspective that it makes it new, interesting, and unique visions of it. Like you get to hear about stuff that the Death Star explodes, but you get to see such a different angle on it. I love it that way. So
You get to see the cargo pilot that picks up Vader after he gets shot out of Yavin. So I
I know that reference.
I love I love that book. I think I saw someone in the chat said, "What's my favorite Star Wars book?" I don't know. I'll get back to you.
TBD.
yeah. Okay. So Paul likes to make sure that we go as long as we can for everything.
We're making it 7
I'm-
hours, Danny.
look.
I thought we talked about this.
If you guys have a heart out, that's great. I'm good. So
But we didn't even talk about Disney. So
Yeah, you guys do your thing. Danny asked me Disney questions.
Aladdin. The answer's Aladdin.
It's not Aladdin.
yeah, we're gonna
It's the
go
live action
right now
Aladdin is
from
right.
this. It's going to be my sweet love, Mr. Paul DiNuzzo's favorite section, my favorite section, all of y'all's favorite section of this podcast. This or that.
a little addition to that.
Already.
If you haven't,
Oh, we're ready.
before, I know everybody else should have by now, but if you haven't, I'm just going to give Sean and Jim 2 separate things, and they get to choose between them. They can have context. They don't have context. It's up to them, really. They can expand on it if they'd like. If they don't want to, they can just drop the one words.
We're making this 7 hours. We're going to expand.
Right. That's what Danny says. So I'm gonna change that to that one instead of that's what she says.
A.
Danny says.
That's what Danny
A.
Now, of course, there's some that we have tailor-made for you. There's also some that we ask every week. So we'll just get right down to it. The
Bring
first question we always ask on this podcast, and there is only one right
One right answer.
Team
Here it is.
Ghai or Team Trey?
Especially because you all have been watchers of the show. Thank you so much, Jill and Sean, for being watchers of the show. We really do appreciate y'all so much. So
course,
this
you guys
is
are
a
amazing.
answer to hear from y'all specifically.
I see it. I see it. I see it. And you can stay on the podcast for 5 hours now. It's all you.
Although truth be told, it's a different question as far as I get to talk to Bateman about Magic. I don't get to talk to many Schmoedown competitors about Magic.
That's true.
So, and he has the #1 Magic podcast.
Does he really?
No, I don't know if that's true.
No.
Wow. In our hearts. In our
It's
hearts.
the #1 Magic podcast.
Yeah,
I know that was said,
I
but
appreciate
I don't personally know that that's true. It depends on what you define as a podcast.
fair.
You're kind of like shots fired at us specifically in this kind of sort of way because I've tried to get podcasts taken off of us for a while, but it is what it is. All right, I'm done. Sorry.
Yeah, I don't know that Call to Action is a podcast.
I would say it's a after show. Is it the same thing?
We're a YouTube show. Hi.
It's an after
Right.
show. It's not because I feel like podcasts don't have video. I feel like podcasts is just like
But
You
I
can.
a big shout out to Danny Cost, who has been an OG Call to Action, and Alex, who has been getting our episodes on Spotify, on the Apple network. So we are actually
We're a
pushing
podcast.
audio and stuff like that. We just don't really do stuff in an audio
You guys are a podcast
network.
now.
Thank you. Woo, okay, I'm done.
Just to clarify, I think that like Ben's show, Masters of Modern, is 100% intended to be a podcast that they release the video of. Whereas if you compare that to some of the other Magic channels, they are YouTube channels that might release a podcast form. So if you separate it that way, and I think that's how you do it, then yes, Masters of Modern is the #1 Magic podcast.
Okay.
But to answer your question, I can't pick one.
Can't pick one.
I can't.
No,
I
you're supposed to say Ghai.
Oh, Ghai. Oh, yeah. Fuck the traitor.
Perfect.
Yeah, there we go.
That's why we love you. That's why.
Sorry, Ben. I love you.
And Ben calls me Sully, which I like, so I'll take it.
He does.
We're okay. We'll ask him that to his face, so he understands. He gets it. All right. Next question. We'll go with what will do? Star Wars sequel trilogy or prequel trilogy?
Prequels.
Prequels, yeah. Prequels.
100% prequels.
Wow. Okay.
Episode 3 is my favorite Star Wars movie.
I'm not a sequel hater.
Me either.
I would much rather watch Attack of the Clones than any of the sequels.
Wow. All right, you know what? I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it right here. I'm going to break from this to that for a second. Let's rank Star Wars.
Oh, man. Here we go.
The films.
Can I go first? Because I don't watch Star Wars, so y'all can hear my ranking first.
Yeah, Jenny, what's your favorite? I'm curious.
All right. Absolute favorite Star Wars movie, absolute 100% is Return of the Jedi. Sorry.
To Mark Alexander. Not bad.
I did not like the new edits and stuff like that, so that's fine. And then Empire, and then A New Hope, and then okay, so this is why I don't do Star Wars. Okay, I'm done. That's it.
I love you.
That's fair. So
figuring on out. Okay.
So my #1 changes depending on the week.
Changes daily.
So, but if I were to if I were to just go like what is my ranking on average, because it changes every week depending on what I've seen most recent.
I know. I'll interrupt real quick and say I completely agree with that aspect, because like I think I did a show called Class Action where we did this. I swear like my answers have changed every week at this point.
Yeah,
a little cheap plug, I guess, but every week it's like it could be different.
So if I just go on average, it's Empire, Rogue One, Jedi, Star Wars, Revenge of the Sith, Force Awakens, Solo, Last Jedi. What am I missing? Hold on. I'll get there. No. I got there. Attack of the Clones, Rise of Skywalker, Episode 1.
That's right. Attack of the Clone Wars. Where's the Clone Wars?
Oh, the Clone Wars is on the bottom.
Yeah, it's on the bottom.
Wait, no, hold on. I lied. I forgot something.
You said Clone Wars wasn't your least favorite.
Attack of the Clones isn't my least favorite.
You said Clone Wars, I thought wasn't your least favorite.
Oh, it is.
Oh. Wow.
My #1.
That's good for you, Chris. I love it. I'm a positive Star Wars.
I love it.
Love Attack of the Clones. Go with it.
I can't get past the dialogue. I can't get past the dialogue.
Oh, I can.
I can't.
I would argue that the dialogue is supposed to, like, everybody says about Anakin and Padme's relationship. It's a character who does not know love. He's an awkward teenager. His dialogue makes absolute sense to me. It's shitty.
They grew up in a monastery.
I get that. I just can't do it.
He's an awkward teenager that grew up in a monastery.
Right, exactly. And he's obsessed. So he says stupid shit.
Yeah.
It is
and it's definitely awkward. But I forgot one movie, and my #1 Star Wars movie of all time is Caravan of Courage.
Caravan of Courage.
That's what my
when they said that, I was like, what the hell?
That's what my card says.
Can I tell you, when your card came out, I was like, I love him even more right now than I did.
That's a lot of people said that. I love him more than he said that.
So the way that happened, we were filming the pre-match promo, and I think it was Megan popped her head into the studio. Hey, they want to know your favorite Star Wars movie. I said Caravan of Courage, and she went, "No, your favorite Star Wars movie." I went,
Caravan of Courage.
Caravan of Courage. I said it.
Bibbs must
She's like, what's that? I said, it's a Star Wars movie. Don't worry.
Bibbs must love you too for that. If you've talked to him,
I will say that, like, as someone who is not very much into everything, I really enjoyed Rogue One and Solo. Like, they're like in the middle of my list, but like, I really enjoyed Rogue One specifically.
Rogue One is my second favorite, I think.
I thought
It's definitely my second favorite.
I really like Episode 3 is my favorite, just because I'm really big on the Anakin Skywalker becoming Darth Vader storyline. So that's why that is my favorite. But Rogue One is just specifically for that ending Vader scene.
Yeah.
Where they're passing over the Death Star plans.
Yeah.
Give me that look.
Oh, no. I thought you were talking about the no scene.
No.
No.
Yeah, no scene. No, I'm talking about where Vader comes in and they're handing off the death. That's just that 2-minute scene.
Always
is the hallways is one of the best Star Wars scenes in my personal opinion. I know some people
passing off the Death Star plans
in Rogue One.
In Rogue One.
Oh, I thought you were talking about.
Yeah,
I thought you were talking about Revenge of the Sith.
No.
I'm like, when the hell does that happen?
No, we're talking about. I'm saying Rogue One is my favorite because that is so good.
Okay.
But I'm also one of those weirdos that has Rise of Skywalker in their top 4. So.
Battle of Endor. Oh, I love that as well. Battle of Endor and Wilford Brimley. I do love that aspect.
Yeah. Well, and as far as Star Wars battles,
Here we go.
Paul, what's your favorite Star Wars
7-hour
battle?
stream.
We're talking about battle, like lightsaber battle or space battle or
Space battle, ground battle? Not lightsaber battle. That's a whole
Everyone
other
knows that
conversation.
It's episode 3.
I mean, I have a soft spot for Return of the Jedi. The space battle for Return of the Jedi was about growing up. I really love the Rogue One third act space battle, and I think that might have surpassed it if it wasn't for nostalgia. So it goes back and forth for me on those, to be honest with you. But then again, Episode 3's opening battle, space battle, is pretty cool too.
of course not.
So if I had to pick right now, I'm going to say Rogue One's third act because I just watched it the other day. So that's
Gorgeous. It's gorgeous. Yeah, I agree.
Rogue One was 90 minutes of exposition. Yeah, that's fair.
That's kind of fair. That's kind of fair.
Everyone dies.
That's fair. That's what I liked about it, though, the way they didn't try to make it a Disney-esque. They kind of said, "Yeah, this is what happens. Everybody died." So
everyone dies.
Okay, next one. The answer is Jameson. Back on track.
Back on track. Before you
That's not my favorite, though. That's not my
Okay,
favorite.
back on track.
I do have to have that. Actually, the idea was White Claw or whiskey.
Yes.
Oh. I'm going to be honest. This is my first time actually drinking a White Claw.
Okay.
Oh, my Jameson. My studio Jameson, which is after one studio taping is down to here.
That's right there.
Yeah.
My piece.
1 day of studio taping, it's 80% gone.
So to touch really quickly on that, yes, Jameson is one of my favorite whiskeys. It is. I do like a black label, not gonna lie, but White Claw is a very sneak up on you drink. Jillian, you need to have 1.5 more of those, and
I think there's one more in the fridge, and I'm going to save it for later because I have work in the morning.
Yeah.
and that's fine. Be responsible. That's totally fine. Anyone who's
I don't hate it because I'm not a big like tonic water person, but like
mango is personally my favorite flavor.
It is. No, it is. It's very refreshing.
Refreshing and light. Sorry.
It is.
All I gotta say is that I've been pushing for this. We've been a White Claw podcast for whatever, or after show, whatever you call us. I have been pushing for the Jack Daniels for a long time. Gentleman Jack, I take. Jameson, I take.
Oh, I love Gentleman Jack. Oh, I love Gentleman.
Yeah.
See, I getting your support now.
Gentleman Jack.
Gentleman Jack is like a smoother Jack Daniels. It's a slightly higher end Jack Daniels almost.
Yeah. So here's my thing, y'all. Whiskey makes me very mean.
Oh,
Really?
Apparently, whiskey makes me mean too. Because my post match.
Yeah, you were a dick in your post match.
No, like whiskey makes me mean. Tequila makes me fun, and anything else just shuts me up. So,
see, James,
I don't buy that.
Make me sick.
I don't buy that for a second, Daddy. I don't think anything could ever shut you up. But I love you for it. That's all. Fair enough. All right. Well, let's move on then. Okay. Let's see. How about this one? This is other one for Jillian. Cosplay, Disney princess, or a fantasy character?
Disney princess or a fantasy character?
Would you rather cosplay?
Oh, well, I'd rather cosplay.
Yeah, cosplay. Yes.
Oh, man.
Yeah, girl.
Does it have to be a specific fantasy character?
You can make up the rule. I give you. You can.
However you want to take it.
Well, you want to do Sylvanas pretty bad.
I do want to do Sylvanas. I do. Sylvanas Windrunner from World of Warcraft.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
I've been wanting to do it for years. I started building her like 4 or 5 years ago, and I never finished her.
Goals. Get that done.
I know.
And besides, her sister's a Disney
My
princess,
sister's
so she's
already
got
a
that
Disney
covered.
princess, so
Like that's her day job. So-
Really? Wait.
Yeah.
Time out.
she's
All
my
right.
character.
Oh, friends with a
She's
Disney
friends with.
princess.
Okay, that's fine. We're especially because I understand and I know that princesses who work for Disney are not necessarily allowed to disclose a lot of stuff and stuff like that. So
Princesses don't work for Disney; they live at Disney.
exactly,
Right. Yeah, that's right.
Jillian, like this stream is gonna go 3 more hours.
It's fine. Fine, I'll call out tomorrow.
Whole
It's fine.
thing right now.
I'll say I have coronavirus.
Oh my gosh. So my Disney princesses and living at Disney and stuff like that is like an ultimate dream / goal, but there's no one who I resemble or look like. And also I'm 4'10", so I don't qualify.
Girl, you're prime Mickey Mouse height.
Yep. Oh,
Mickey Mouse is a Disney
Same.
princess.
That's true. Oh yeah, absolutely.
Minnie Mouse. Minnie Mouse is the
Did I
queen.
say Mickey?
Minnie
Oops.
Mouse is the queen of Disney.
I will bop 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 all day long. All right, I'm sorry. Okay, I'm sorry. I will talk about Disney all day long. I've never been to Disney World, but I can walk through that park with my eyes closed because I've planned a Disney trip my entire life.
I'm going to Disney World in October, and I'm so excited.
I'm going in 2021 because it's the 50th anniversary, so I will go.
Oh, I'm just going to the wine festival.
Yeah, you do look taller on camera, I will say.
I know, you're so itty. You're so itty.
It is definitely.
I'm very tiny. I am 4'10". I stand at a solid 4'10" tall. Y'all. I'm a small person.
You could.
Moana.
Ooh, okay. I'll do that. I'll go to the gym. I'll do that.
Fair enough.
You can do Queen Jamila from Star Wars.
Yes.
Oh.
You do that one very
I
well.
don't know who that is, but okay.
Well, it's Padme's replacement.
Yes. She's
Oh, okay.
Naboo after Padme.
She's the queen. She's the queen of Naboo.
Queen of Naboo. That's true.
Yes, I did. Like Rachel and me, like we snuggle right here. It's so great.
All right, let's talk about your fellow Denman here. Hitman or Hotman?
Oh, Hot
Hot
Man.
Man.
Yes.
Not even a question.
Hot man.
Jake, you hear that?
And it's less for Jake, more for Christian. Because when you guys shouted Hot Man in Atlanta, and Christian went, "What are they shouting?" was the best moment. And I just need us to do that for Switchblade at Free For All.
We are going to do both. I know Action Army. Jarvis in the chat. That's right. Richard Hurt Jarvis. We love Rich. We are totally planning on yelling Hotman as much as we can and Switchblade as much as we can. Christian, you're going to have to hear it. You're just going to have to hear it. It's just going to have to happen.
Just gonna have to deal, Harloff. I'm sorry. We love you,
I'm
but
so sorry.
we love the Hot Man.
We do love that.
That
We
if you,
love the
watch,
Hot Man.
if you watch the Atlanta event, even when they had the sound issues, the thing that came across loud and clear more than anything else was that.
Oh, I could hear it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Because she was like, "What are they shouting?" And I'm like, "Christian, they're shouting Hot Man. You know that they're shouting Hot Man."
Yeah, Christian, just to clarify, if you watch this, Rachel is not complicit in this in any way, nor does she want this to happen.
Doesn't want to happen.
No,
Wink. Wah, wah.
no, not at all. Nope.
This is entirely the C2A team that is promoting this. In fact, I don't have anything to do with this either.
Yeah.
This is live, right? We can cut that out.
Yeah,
100%
We'll talk in post. We'll talk in post.
take credit for this. It's totally fine. We love a hot man here on the Call to Action channel.
we did. I'm not against it, but I'm not. Okay, fair enough. You're not promoting it, and you aren't. That's fine. You're not getting shirts made for you. I get it. We're not going to do anything like that.
I'll buy one.
No one's gonna make them on the side. It's fine.
Something happened. It's organic. It just happened.
Oh no, this is bad.
What?
You know what? Justin, the razor wit though.
Oh,
He has a razor wit.
He does have a razor wit.
that's true. That is true. That is true.
Wah, wah.
Oh yeah. Totally.
I do too. Oh, I would so buy a Switchblade shirt.
And Jack, you are correct, Jack. That is true.
Yeah, that's a good point.
So maybe we should
An
make
after
this
show.
a
We're an
podcast.
after show, not a podcast.
That's true.
Also, if this was a podcast, you wouldn't be able to see all of my facial reactions to everything that goes on while people are talking. So.
That's the interactions when we start talking about Star Wars or something, or like when Mark Ellis and I start talking about music, and she's kind of just like,
I don't want to go.
she's voguing during all of it. It's awesome. It's like hyping us up. It's like a little hype man corner. It's good. I like it.
Yeah.
How about that?
Other direction.
Speaking of that, Jillian, about this, watching Sean play or watching with Sean in the audience?
Can I be honest?
Be completely honest.
Please.
I don't think I actually watched Sean play because I was too busy pacing throughout the entire match. Like honest to God. So I started in the front row next to Kate. And then I got up and I stood next to the wall. And then I went and sat in the back corner. And then I walked to the other back corner, sat in that back corner. And then I was walking around that wall. And then I was like, honest to God, I was a mess. And then I think for the last 3 questions, I was crouched behind. Yeah, Drew was there.
Yeah, Drew.
I think for the last 3 questions, but like the third round, there's like the season 7 banner behind the desk.
Right.
I'm literally crouched behind that, like in fetal position. Like honest to God, like I think like so before the match, Ellis had asked me. He was like, "Who's more nervous, you or Sean?" And I'm like, "Oh, me, hands down." Like I
get that.
I was a mess. Like I loved seeing him on there, and I love how great he did. But I have such bad anxiety, especially because it was his first match. I'm sure the second match is going to be a lot easier, but I hope it's going to be a lot easier.
And on top of that, I don't really watch matches anymore.
He doesn't, yeah.
Because I like watching I like the experience of actually watching them on my TV. Which is super weird, right? Like, I feel like sometimes watching them in studio takes something away from it. So like I watch all of our team's matches, and there's a few people that like I'll never miss a match, but like there's some good matches that I've missed in studio, and part of it is because the filming days are so long that if I'm in there the whole day filming, I'm dead.
All right.
So there's there's something special to me about watching them at home, being fully produced matches, all that.
Being a full fan.
Getting to still watch them at home and be a fan. That being said, it's I do watch a lot of the matches, but I get up and pace a little bit too, and yeah. While there is seating in that studio, there is certain spots where like people will stand and watch the matches. People will. I don't like sitting, so Jill will sit and I will not sit.
But no,
so
for his match, I definitely was not sitting. So I will say I loved seeing him compete, but my anxiety so much handles him just sitting next to me. I was a mess that day. A mess.
And Tim Franco, it's not that I don't like the Beatles, it's that I don't love the Beatles. And I feel like most people just outright love the Beatles.
Yeah.
So I usually say I'm not a big Beatles fan because everyone loves the Beatles, and I don't love the Beatles.
How do we make this work?
They're
We
just
don't like
okay.
the Beatles.
No, look, I know all of the Beatles top pop songs. I don't know any of their deep cuts, and anyone who I get into a conversation with about the Beatles doesn't either. So
Well, and I used to be I used to manage bands. So I used to be very involved in the music scene in that way. So because of that, it's kind of gotten to a point where I understand the Beatles' impact and influence, and I very much appreciate it. But as far as am I ever going to turn on the Beatles and listen to it myself? No. Yeah.
Well, then
When they come on, I enjoy it.
who is your go-to then?
I'm a big fan of Audioslave, Rage Against the Machine. I'm a sucker for Green Day and Old Fall Out Boy.
Old
Um,
Boston.
Old Fall Out Boy is a great distinction. Thank you.
Nah.
Jill is all Fall
I'm
Out Boy,
all Fall Out Boy.
so I have to make that
I'm a
distinction.
live or die Fall Out Boy fan.
Quick question: do you listen to Brand New?
I do. I like Brand New. I'm not super well versed in their stuff, but
I have all of their albums.
I have
love
like
Brand New. Brand New is one of my favorite bands.
I have like a
Oh,
700 all.
Oh,
yeah.
sorry, I didn't realize. I thought we were talking about Brand New Fall Out Boy. I'm like, I
No,
love
no,
Brand
no,
New
the
Fall Out
band
Boy.
Brand New.
Oh, I don't know who they are.
I have a 700 song playlist on Spotify that is just all kinds of weird pop punk and like mid 2000s rock. So like lots of Audioslave and Rage and stuff like that.
So I used
Yeah.
to.
Taking Back
Taking Back
Sunday.
Sunday.
Love Taking Back
So
Sunday.
I used to date someone who managed a band that traveled with Warped Tour called
Trying.
Set Your Goals. Do y'all know Set Your Goals?
Yeah, I know
Set
Set
your
Your
goals.
Goals.
Set your goals.
Yeah, so I got to go on anytime they toured in Texas for Warped Tour in like early 07, 06, maybe something like that. I got to go on Warped Tour for that because
Nice.
So
I
cool.
would be in the bus with Set Your Goals. I got to meet Katy Perry. I got to meet Hayley Williams. When like they were
Love
all
Hayley Williams is one of the best people I've seen live.
she's as tall as I am.
She's tiny.
She's tiny.
Yeah.
So, We Are Lions. I smoked weed with We Are Lions, and
But no, I'm trying to get hella mega tickets right now. It's the Green Day Weezer Fall Out Boy concert that's happening.
And then we also have Chain Fest in the area, which is Amberlin, Jimmy Eat World.
Chainsaw.
I love Jimmy Eat World. Oh my gosh, Jimmy Eat
I
World
think
is my all-time favorite bands. Oh God.
I think they're mine too. I got to see them perform Futures front to back in Ventura a few years ago, and that was like the best show I've ever been to. Two best shows I've ever been to are Bon Jovi and then Jimmy Eat World doing Futures front to back. So-
Futures. I
Right.
love Futures. It's one of my favorite albums.
Also-
I might listen to it like once a month, just like on repeat, just to like get me through my period, basically. Sorry.
Paul, you're frozen. Are you okay? Are you alive?
Who? Me? Me?
Paul,
Paul?
no, you're fine,
Paul.
Danny.
Paul is frozen. Sorry. It's because Paul doesn't maybe understand pop punk. Maybe we're just gonna go there. But Futures
No,
is
I believe it. And Paul, I
Drop a Spotify link.
I can do that. The other thing that's in that playlist is Enye and
we love me.
and Brilliant.
We love us some Enye.
I do love the Nye. Yes.
Bleed American is a great album, Tim. Is Paul gone? Did Paul leave because we're talking about pop punk?
I don't know yet. Paul will get into that while we're going to let Paul do that. I don't necessarily, he took himself off. It's totally fine. While we're doing that, chat, please. This is time. We're here for almost 2 hours now. This is obviously one of our longer
We haven't got. Where's the poutine? Where's the poutine?
We'll pause those, and we're distracting.
I'll take the heat on that. Jillian, Sean, loaded fries or poutine?
Poutine.
Irish nachos.
Poutine.
Irish nachos.
I'm gonna love both of those answers because I do love nachos very much. I do love poutine.
Well, no, Irish nachos are loaded fries. I will clarify.
Okay, thank you. I just heard nachos.
Irish nachos are a
Nachos.
type of loaded fries.
What is on Irish nachos?
Explain.
Ranch, bacon. I mean, they're basically loaded fries.
Ranch
like-
and bacon.
Like ranch, bacon, chives, a little bit of sour cream, cheese, obviously. They're just something that there's a couple places around here in where we grew up that do have something called Irish nachos, and they're super dirt cheap. It's the gourmet pie across from Costco.
Happy hour too.
And they're like $3.75 for a 11-inch plate of Irish nachos. So I will say Irish nachos for that reason.
Poutine.
That being said, poutine is really good. I have not had it enough in my life for it to make a mark.
No, poutine has made my anything covered in gravy and cheese has my vote.
No, it's the exact same thing. So that's why I usually pick poutine over loaded fries, just because I love gravy, I love cheese.
Loaded fries is too heavy. I feel like poutine is a little bit not as heavy as loaded fries. There's too much going on a loaded fry.
Great argument for poutine over loaded fries. So when Paul and I were trying to, behind the scenes, y'all, when Paul and I were trying to figure out different this or that's with it, we both literally said, what the fuck do Californians eat?
Avocado.
Because we can't ask you Whataburger versus In-N-Out because you've never been to Texas, right?
We were literally saying, we were like, there's a Whataburger by our hotel.
And I worked at In-N-Out for 4 years.
He did.
So I will always say In-N-Out because it is comfort food to me.
And that's what Whataburger is to Texans. And as someone who lives in Corpus Christi, Texas, where Whataburger was originated, it's my go-to for everything. I don't know what happened to me.
No, it's just
hi.
I don't know what happened. I'm so sorry. Hold on.
No, you're fine.
I'm like, now it's just the us show.
Hello.
We did it.
Now it's just Sean and Jillian on Call to Action. It really is. So
But there's a Whataburger 8-minute walk from our hotel in Houston.
We're going to Whataburger.
So we will be there.
He's
back.
back.
I don't know what happened there.
Before we get started on this, Paul, welcome back. Thank you so much. Sean, Jillian, please allow me to be a part of that experience of y'all getting.
Yes.
All right, we won't go to Whataburger without Danny.
I already planned on it.
Thank
I
you.
already planned on any of the C2A people that are there. You guys are going to Whataburger with us.
Thank you. That's it.
Already in the plan.
It's what it is.
Paul, come to Houston.
God damn it!
It's not a C2A stream. It is never a C2A stream, especially a chill to action stream, unless there are technical difficulties. So thank you so much for everyone dealing with us with this, because that's just how the show goes. That's the show. Hashtag.
That is the freaking show. It's
We do it. We do it.
So
here.
what did I miss? I missed poutine. Whataburger.
You did miss the poutine versus loaded fries discussion. Sorry.
Oh man.
The answer is Irish nachos.
Poutine.
Ooh, Irish nachos is a good one too, though. Ooh, I like that. Okay. Fine.
And yes, the Cinnabon men can come with us to Whataburger.
Everyone is invited.
They are Action Army as well, so they're all.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
So we're good with that. Okay, I got 2 more. We'll go and then we'll move on. Actually, this is a question Kelsey had. I like this one. Cosplaying question for you. Are you into preparation or procrastination? Do you take a long time, or are you one of those like last minute? Let's get it together and work it.
I'm gonna be honest. I don't usually make my own costumes.
Mm-hmm.
I think the last one I actually made was my Poison Ivy, which was a lot of hot glue. So when it comes to getting a costume together, I'm more preparation because I need to like commission my friends and I need to get it all together. But lately, because I've kind of been like out of it,
okay.
I'm more of like what is readily available.
Yeah.
What's readily available?
What
fits? What still fits? Yeah, and what still fits? What's readily available and what still fits? Because honestly, God, when I started cosplaying, I was
She was like 90 pounds.
I was like 98 pounds.
So,
like,
yeah.
I can't fit into like half of my costumes anymore.
I don't think I've seen 98 pounds since I was like in 2nd grade, probably.
Yeah, 90 was like freshman year of high school for me.
Yeah, this was my freshman year of college, and I was like 102, like tiny.
That's like one of my legs.
Yeah, so now, so now it's pretty much now.
Me too, Paul. Don't worry.
Now it's just basically what costume do I have and what fits.
Yeah. And for me, it's preparation. Like I said, I've been doing. I've been building a Mandalorian suit of armor for 2 years now, and it's still not anywhere near done.
I believe Continue.
Mostly because the parts I need now are all commission parts, and I don't want to spend any money on it. I'm too lazy.
Celebration's coming up.
Okay, I got. Actually, this one off the cuff one. I just came up with it right now, but I'm kind of curious. Obviously, you watch all the animated shows as well, Clone Wars and Rebel War. With Dave Filoni being so involved in Mandalorian, obviously. All this is like a two-parter. Which do you want, and which would you think what's going to happen? What's the more likely animated character to be on the Mandalorian in live action? Is it going to be? I'm going to throw it out about Sabine Wren or Hondo Anaka.
Hondo. Who
I
would I prefer?
I prefer Sabine.
I think I'd prefer Hondo.
Oh, I prefer Sabine.
And I
I
think
love
it's
Hondo.
more likely.
You think Sabine's more likely?
I think Hondo's more likely.
Oh no, Hondo's more likely than Sabine. Yeah.
But now, which Mandalorian character do I think is the most likely? If she's still alive. Bo-Katan.
Bo-Katan.
If she's still alive.
I think so too. With Katie Sackhoff, maybe? I don't know.
Yeah. I would love to just see Katie Sackhoff with a little bit of orange hair dye. Well, actually, she probably won't take off the helmet. Well, we don't know. Right? Like, if she would still follow that,
Yeah, it's kind of up there. They kind of established that, but it was kind of like, is that just the sect there at that point, or is it just like a full on? It's hard to tell where she is in the thing. So
I think it's just that sect. I don't think it's all of them. Yes,
Yeah.
Danny, you have a question.
I do. Bo-Katan is the blacksmith from Mandalorian.
No.
Bo-Katan
good
is
try.
Clone Wars.
She is from the Clone Wars.
Yes.
And she's also in Rebels.
Okay. So I've watched 7 episodes of the Clone
Oh,
Wars
you're getting there. She's
series,
gonna get there.
and I've watched the Clone Wars movie, so I don't know.
You haven't met
Well,
her yet.
if you watch the new season, she hasn't been in it yet, but she will be in this season.
Yeah,
She's just a redheaded Mandalorian lady.
No.
Okay,
Um,
I tried.
Yeah.
I believe in you. You
we
tried.
believe in you.
Hondo.
I
I
think-
feel like especially because Hondo is in the ride.
Who said that? Was that Chris? Chris,
Yes.
if you have not been to Galaxy's Edge yet,
Parker.
yeah, Parker, that's a good idea.
Morris Brood.
If
yes, that's true.
Parker, Chris, if you have not been to Galaxy's Edge yet and seen Hondo,
The Hondo is
it's
Wow.
amazing.
Hondo
It
is
is amazing.
the Hondo is beautiful.
It took us a couple seconds to go. Is that somebody in the suit, or is that an animatronic?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's right.
I know it was. Like, but I'm saying, just for like when you first see him, kind of like it's so real. You're like,
it's
is that
unbelievable.
someone? Like for a second, you're kind of doubting yourself. You're like, is that really somebody in the suit? It is so good.
it's
so good.
gorgeous.
Yeah, I love it. I think you're right there too, because Hondo's also can appear as a lesser character, like this in an episode. He can just show up and be in and out.
Yeah, he doesn't have to be anything major.
And see, I
Whereas,
didn't even know Hondo until he went on the ride. I was like, that's Jim
Yeah.
Cummings.
That's very true. Very true.
whereas if we get Bo-Katan, it's got to be something serious, just because of where she would have to be in the series.
Hondo could just be a
Throwaway.
character, yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely, it could be a 1 episode filler kind of thing, and I wouldn't even mind that.
No.
Any Hondo I can get, I love. So
Absolutely.
all right. You know what? I'm going to end it there. I think that's a good one to end it on. So we're going to finish out this or that, and Danny, it's back to you, girl.
Hello, y'all. Welcome back. Welcome back.
Sorry, I know.
No.
7-hour stream, guys. 7-hour stream.
That's what we strived to break the record. We are definitely on that path. But as you all know, after this or that, that is where we go into chat questions. So if you had any questions inside of the chat a lot earlier before, please make sure that you bring them back to us. If you didn't get anything answered, bring that back so we can make sure that we ask Sean and Jillian anything else that you want to ask for this whole thing. And while we are letting you do that, Paul and I, because it's just us today. Hey, Paul, it's this way. Hey, Paul. It's this way. Hi, my love. We're going to plug what we have coming up for C2A. So I'm going to go ahead and let Paul do that.
That's right. We have a couple of weeks planned out now. We do have next week. We are going to have the one and only Brett Sheridan on, and that should be
So
a
excited.
very fun episode. I'm not sure he'll be doing impressions or not, but maybe we'll be lucky. I love that guy. I can't wait to have him on. It's going to be a fun episode. And I just announced this yesterday on Call Live. We just dotted the I's and crossed the T's. I'll do my little T that I did yesterday. It kind of freaked people out, but the draft did tear a team apart, and it was very sad. But Call to Action, Chilled Action is going to bring them back together. Not the Wild Bears.
No, I'm sorry. It's not the Wild Bears.
Not the Wild Bears. But it is a team. It's the movie guys. We're bringing Paul Preston and Adam Witt both on. We figured, I don't care if they're part in the Schmoedown now. They're such a great duo. Their video before the draft, it was so fucking hilarious. I got to have them on to banter both back and forth. So that's what I want to see. That's the next two we have planned. Much more that we're still in discussion for. So
we still have some things in the works. So there are a lot of people who we want to talk to and who we want to see. Sorry,
Heel.
Blame Paul? No, blame Paul. Heel Paul. Heel Paul, face Danny. That's how we go. That's how we do it here. There are a lot of people who we do want to talk to for Tilt to Action, and we can't wait to bring more interviews to y'all. Make sure that you watch Schmoebates this week with Andrew DiMolante. Speaking of Star Wars, right? Andrew DiMolante will be co-hosting Schmoebates with Alex Mack this Wednesday, and it's going to be Larry Payne versus Lindsay Payne on Schmoebates. So it's going to be a wife and husband interaction. So couples on Chill to Action are prevalent at the moment, and we love it. We love the love on Call to Action. Also, be on the lookout for Alex Mack and I did a reaction video to the Schmoedown Throwdown of the Family versus Corruption. So you can see that premiering the day of the premiere of that Throwdown. We don't necessarily know if it's going to be on Wednesday or if it's going to be on Thursday. If it is on Wednesday, it'll be after Schmoebates. If it's on Thursday, we'll give you a time. And also the reaction to Kelsey, Alex, and I are doing the reaction to the final exam versus the experiment. That will come up this week as well. Ooh, see, I'm looking at the camera. I'm not looking at the screen. So sorry, I'm trying to, like, when you do podcasts or shows, it's always a weird vibe. Like, do I look at my screen at my people, or do I look at my camera at my audience? It's a weird thing. It's a totally weird
thing. Is it a podcast or a show?
We don't know.
We need to answer that.
This or that is the next this or that question we'll have.
Is this a podcast or a show?
I vote show.
We have to change all our graphics and everything else. I think that's
we do. Yeah, Jake. Sorry, Jake. It is what it is. Also coming up this Friday, we do have Jeff Snyder versus Ethan Irwin. We cannot wait for that. It's a pod show. Thank you. It's a pod show.
This is podcasting.
Yes, that is what it is. Get your questions in right now because we're going to start asking them. Also, Saturday, AAA Live, the most controversial show in the Schmoedown arena. Anything, like, there's no one else who has the most controversy.
Let me tell you, I am the diplomatic one on Call to Action. I'm the diplomatic person. Whenever there's issues, I got to go and talk to people. I tend to listen and talk. I'm good that way usually. I haven't had to do so much legwork every time AAA throws up a poll that I don't even have to do anymore. So when AAA throws up a poll, I get the whiskey out. I'm like, fuck. Okay,
no, we all start drinking and see those polls go up because we're like, God, we're gonna get canceled today. Woo!
I am everybody but you, Alex. Everybody but you. I get to let my rage out on you. So
no, seriously, absolutely, 100%. So
I'll be right back.
I see that. I'm intrigued. You had my curiosity, and now you have my attention.
Here we go. So we're going to move into those chat questions. So, Kelsey, I'm going to let you take over. Also, really quickly, before we get started on that, big, huge shout out to Kelsey Kirkland, who is our background manager of this. She is checking the chat. She is our big, huge moderator. She does a lot for us on Chill to Action. We have definitely improved with her being on here. So thank you so much, Kelsey. We love you. Let's do this.
I like that. I like that. Jillian to Action. I can go with that. Sure.
Jillian to Action. Here we go. Let's do this.
All right,
I'll
Kels.
be right back.
All right, that's all right. We can have Jillian action and pure Jillian, and we'll ask Jillian some questions and see maybe she'll answer them for us. You can actually pretend
I'll
to be
answer for
Sean if
him.
you want. That's what I'm saying. Yeah, you can probably know as much as he does. Anyway,
I have a manly beard.
Sean was the last time he fully clean shaved.
Oh God. Since before we dated.
Really?
But I've known him since we were 15. So let me try and.
That's actually very sweet.
I know it's gross. I know.
Yeah.
I had a crush on him my sophomore year of high school. When was the last time you were clean shaven? We're almost 30, by the way, just to time frame.
Last time I was clean shaven would probably have to be
Sophomore year.
No. Whenever I can't hear you guys. The headphones not in. There we go. It would probably have to be whenever I quit In and Out. So I think like 2012. Unless I think at some point like I screwed up my beard and had to shave it, but I was clean shaven for a day. Like, however long it took me to grow enough of a beard to not be considered clean shaven.
Right.
So it's been, it's been a long time. That being said, I've trimmed it down, or I've gone to just,
A Tony Stark.
just something, or just, Robert, or I grow it out until just no trimming or anything until I win the Star Wars belt.
Oh, gross.
Oh, I like that. I love that
don't
idea.
Encourage him.
I've been
Please don't
totally
encourage
encouraging
him.
it. I'm sorry, I'm totally encouraging it.
Not encourage him.
All right, Brian, that's fun ones. If Jill was to compete in the Schmoedown, what manager would you want?
Oh man. Shannon.
Wow.
Shannon. I love a lot of the managers, but I freaking love Shannon.
I gotta give credit. Or credit to
Yes,
Shannon was the queen.
Yes. Oh man. No, Shannon's a beast.
Yeah.
Shannon knows the game. Shannon understands the game. Shannon. Yeah.
All right.
Shannon Barney. And I think I would make a good heiress of corruption.
There you go. Heiress. I love that. Heiress. I love that.
Heiress. I'd make a good heiress of corruption.
Well, it is funny. Before we move on, I would say we do have Shannon Barney Light in the chat, according to John Rocco.
Alex.
Shannon Barney Light.
Hashtag Shannon Barney Light.
Justin Hamilton, question: if you had to choose to bring only one character into canon, would it be Revan or Darth Malgus? I'll even throw something else out there and say, or anybody else.
Margit.
I would say. I think this is gonna run out of battery. I would say, oh God, of those two, Revan. Probably for me, it's gonna be either HK-47 or someone else like Talon Card, who's a good side character. I'd rather have a good side character than a good villain or good main character. Because you can make a good villain or main character. It's basically the same trope with a few different, quirks. It's,
Quirks are what makes the actual character, though. That's what it is.
Right. But no one's ever going to be happy with how you do Revan, so it won't matter.
Very true. I keep hoping. I mean, Zahn's been running these Thrawn books, but Zahn, just freaking bring back Talon Card for me, please. Just put him in there.
Yeah.
So.
I'm shocked he hasn't been yet.
I know, me too.
Have they brought back? Is Pelion in the new?
Yes.
Okay, so he is back. Okay.
They've been. Yes.
I read the first one, but I barely the first of the new ones, but I barely remember it.
He's not very big into it yet. He's not like really together with it, but he's definitely mentioned and he's there. So, you saw Tron.
No, is it beeping on you? Okay, you're fine.
Sean, do you believe you have what it takes to defeat Alex Demon? If you listen to his post-match interview, you think he does.
I have.
God.
I cannot reveal my sources, except for the fact that my sources' names are Whiskey, and Whiskey thinks I do.
Woo!
Whiskey is one of the most supportive people I know. I'll tell
I
you
think
that
he
much.
can do it. I think he can do it.
But that being said, I don't think Alex is. Honestly, I think Laura Kelly was inches away from beating him.
Oh, 100%.
You know, like if you actually, pay attention to what she missed, what he missed, all that, it was close. I mean,
And I think Dimolanta is another one who's very strong and has not gotten the respect he deserves because he's lost both times in a way. Because
I will never. I could only say this because he has 2 losses.
Mhm.
And he's got to earn playing me, like Harloff said. But all of that bullshit aside, I think if I were to pick one person to beat Alex Damon this year, and I couldn't pick myself, it would be Dimolanta.
Hands down.
Because I know how dedicated he is to this crap. That being said, yes, I think I do have what it takes to beat Alex. I just think that it's going to take a lot of whiskey and a lot of studying. So I know that I have a little time until I get to Alex. So I'm not too worried about it yet.
I'd also say that learn the speed round. The speed round is key because even if he doesn't miss a question. If you can beat him speedily,
If you can beat him on the buzzer.
I don't know enough about Alex outside of Star Wars, but an athlete, I don't know that he is. So I think maybe the speed round might be where I would have
an
advantage.
That's what you get. I would say work on those buzzers. Get those buzzers. Work on them. Just have them in there.
Because he can't get the buzzers. He's in New York.
There you go.
He can't say, "Hey, let's check out those buzzers," or not New York, Atlanta.
Watch Brendan Meyer in Spectacular making love to those buzzers, and that's what you got to do. The Schmoe, what do you think of the talks of an MCU division and the likes of the Star Wars division?
It's like strictly MCU? Is that
you know what? I don't know. It's not. I don't think that that's a good idea.
I don't see there.
Personally, if it weren't for the fact that Star Wars is already here, I don't know that there should be a Star Wars division. I love the Star Wars division. I know there's a lot of fans that love the Star Wars division. I just think that the part of the big reason it's here is because Star Wars is something that is a foundation for a lot of movies and a foundation for a lot of the schmoes.
I'm about to say that.
And a lot of Schmoville.
Yep.
So because of that, that's why Star Wars needs to be in the Schmoedown.
Yep.
Star Wars has a lot bigger of a legacy than Marvel.
Yeah.
If you're going to do and not that, obviously things like Spider-Man and the Avengers and all that have had a huge impact. I don't actually like the idea of adding more specific divisions. I think the only thing that does is add more competitors and add, I'm sure there are fans that would watch 5 matches a week, but the fact of the matter is, if there was 5 matches a week, which is what you would need if you had if you had a bunch of different specific divisions, you would have to have 5 matches a week at a certain point.
Yeah,
it's untenable. There's no way that you can sustain a viewership with that. So that's why I'm a little against having another specific division. Now, someone's suggesting that you can alternate the specific division every year, which I have seen is a good idea. But then that means that there will be competitors that just disappear for years on end.
That's not fair for the competitor.
Well, not only is it not fair, not only is it not fair to the competitor, but the fan base will forget about them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
absolutely. Possibly the answer is more just doing like what they do the exhibition, like the Rocky Championship and exhibition, that kind of thing. If you do, we had the MCU exhibition, that was a fun time match.
That was fun.
Yeah, we were in studio for that one, and Sean Gerber fucking kicked ass in that. It was really fucking impressive.
More Disney exhibition matches.
God, I told Christian that. I was like, if you have a Disney or a Harry Potter match, because I was there for the taping, the Disney and the Harry Potter match. And sorry, Rachel, I think I told you this. I beat you by like 1 or 2 points.
Ooh.
Yo, if Christian Harloff, if you bring another Disney exhibition match, Call me
I
up.
also beat Smets in the Harry Potter exhibition match too. So.
Ooh.
Uh, Ro-
Compete in that much, but Disney, bring me in.
Robert Parker has a good way of looking at it, having a miscellaneous cup. The problem is, if you do James Bond, it's just going to be Kalinowski and Tim.
Oh, Tim Franco. I was going to say Tim Franco would definitely. That's true. We always remember Tim. We always remember the tank.
Yeah, don't worry. I know where Tim is on that category.
That's actually one of my this or that questions a lot. Who wins, Franco versus Kalinowski? I'm trying to push that low key for a while. Kalinowski versus Franco Bond exhibition match.
Only because we've seen Franco so much less, I think that the answer has to be Kalinowski. But once Franco gets in the ring a little more and actually spins that category the way Kalinowski has,
kick ass at it.
you know, I mean. But I think
got that magic spin on.
Have either of them missed any questions in that category? I don't think so.
I believe Kalinowski.
I think Kalinowski had to go multiple choice.
He missed.
I don't know if he's
one,
missed. Oh, has he missed one?
I thought he missed at least one. I know Tim will tell you, but
Yeah.
Wow, there you go. I thought I'm not a stats person. I drink too much Jameson, so my memory is fuzzy. But that's not my thing. That's the rundown boy. That's for ranking numbers. That's what he does. That's what it was. Yeah, that's what he missed Bernard Lake. That's true. That's what he did. So it's true. And Tim is so dumb. He's been calling him out forever on this. So I want to see it happen. So. All right, Kelsey got our next question there. Star Drew, what is your favorite Robin Hood movie? Men in Tights, 96, a Disney version, 71, or Prince of Thieves version, 91?
Have you seen any of those?
Sean.
Which one's the Fox one?
The Disney one.
That's the Disney one.
Which one's the? Which one do you think is the Fox one?
Oh my god.
I like Robin Hood Men in Tights.
We're men in tights.
Unlike other Robin Hood.
That's probably my favorite.
English accent.
Mine is. I'm a sucker for a Disney film. Sorry, mine's definitely the hot Robin Hood.
I get that. I have a low-key fond memories of Prince of Thieves, but I get that as well. So.
It's the Fox Robin Hood.
Yes, seriously, that song has been stuck in my head since 1980.
What is the name of your?
How
did you play and not DM?
So, Justin, I have not played D&D in a very long time.
He's our DM.
I currently, one of the reasons why sometimes I have to take some time off studying, I DM 2 active games and I have 2 others that are not as frequent. My last D&D character, I honestly couldn't tell you the name of. It was probably Jack something, which is what my name was supposed to be, which is why I often default that as a name. But my Star Wars Edge of the Empire character was Ryder Thune, is the one that I will always remember. So
mine is someone's asking what's mine. Mine is my my World of Warcraft character name, which is Moriana, was my first one. And then this current one is
Perry. I don't remember what the full name is.
Perry, for short.
I have it written down somewhere.
It's somewhere. It's not It's not. I'm thinking Persephone.
It might be Persephone.
I don't think it's Persephone. It's something like that, but it's Perry for short.
Persephone is a good name because that's actually like a Greek.
Prosperine. Prosperine is my character's name. Prosperine and Perry for short.
My last D&D name was the dwarven character Guinness the Stout.
That's good. Write that down.
I'm gonna keep that. Guinness the Stout. He's writing it down. He's going over to his D&D notebook.
It's been a little while since I played.
So I don't play D&D. I had an ex-boyfriend who was super into D&D. Made a character. This was like 10 years ago. Don't remember it. That's not. I'm sorry. I would love to. I have plenty of friends who do it, but this is not.
It's a lot. You definitely need to. You definitely need to plan it and book it. It's hard for us to get, especially with all the Schmoedown stuff that we have going on. It's definitely hard to get it all.
I would love to. Get me into
fun.
Friends.
It is fun. It is a lot of fun.
I'm the wrong person to get into it with just because I have this, which is a whole long story why we have this. We ended up with an extra room that we're renting, and I had these old bookshelves. They needed to go somewhere, and it was either we play here or I drive every Friday or whatever to someone else's house. I'd rather just play here.
It's a D&D room.
It makes my life a lot easier.
Fair enough.
And
Lucas is right. I try to do that too. My friends and I try to do it online, so you can go out. It's just not the same at all.
You can't do it. You can't do it online.
Yeah, I've never tried online. Luckily, I've been blessed to have a game store by me that I've been going to for 10 years. And I've had the same indie group for 7 years probably. So, got lucky on that one, to say the least. Because I know how hard it is for people to find groups, and it's finding a group that you mesh with is my biggest advice to someone playing D&D. Find a group you actually mesh with, because otherwise it doesn't work.
Nope.
It's very true. I'll actually throw out another one. I used to play Star Wars, a role-playing game, a lot with a different group, and they were another great group. I don't remember my name. I forget my name, but I always remember that the DM came up with a great adversary. Because I was a smuggler like Han Solo, but my arch rival was Bob the Feet. He was good. He wasn't Boba Fett. You wanted to be Boba Fett, but it's Bob the Feet. Anyway.
So Jill, I want to ask you a quick question.
Yeah.
Disney movies have a specific era for each of them. Do you have a personal favorite era of the Disney songs?
Songs.
No, slots.
Oh, slots.
So there's
okay.
the Renaissance, the Dark Era, the New Renaissance. I got a New Renaissance.
Is that 90s?
It's starting with Princess and the Frog.
Oh.
Yep.
It's Princess and the Frog, Tangled, like Wreck-It Ralph. But I also, I'd say New Renaissance, but I grew up with the Renaissance. I distinctly remember having a huge Lion King party when I was like 4. Like my mom got me like a Lion King cake, and it had like the Timon and Pumbaa like figures on the waterfall, like Simba rocking across it. Like I distinctly remember, like it was a legit like fancy ass cake that she got me for my birthday. But definitely my favorites, I would say, would be New Renaissance.
Yeah, like I don't want to show our age difference inside of this, but like Lion King was my favorite movie when I was like 7. So.
Oh, I'm a 91 baby, so
yeah. We're this close. We're this close.
Yeah, not far off.
No, not far off.
No.
I would say definitely New Renaissance, but I also really like, honestly, God, I like the dark. I think it's called the dark. Is that like with like the Meet the Robinsons and like Atlantis and
Yep.
Yeah.
Very
Meet the Robinsons
movies that people did not watch, but I am very partial to late 80s Disney movies. Oliver and Company, The Great
Mouse Detective. Mm-hmm.
Rescuers. Those are my like the Rescuers had a different like time frame, but like it came out. So
I showed him that Oliver and Company was one of the first movies he watched on Disney Plus when it came out.
Bruce Willis.
Yeah. And so I was like, I need to watch Oliver and Company.
Oliver and Company is one of the
You are not that old.
Is he
No, we're this far apart. 86. So.
Oh, really?
This guy's a little old. This guy's so old.
But no, I still have all the VHSs.
But, Paul,
too.
you look good for however old you are.
You do.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that. I'm right before Star Wars. I was 76.
Yeah, you aged a lot better than my dad did. So
I will take it.
My birthday is
same
May
mustache though.
My birthday is May 25th, so it's the anniversary of Star Wars.
Mm-hmm.
A New Hope.
Yes.
Because it was released May 25th, 1977. 76, maybe?
Yeah, 77.
Yep.
Oh, shut up, Jarvie. I love you, but shut up.
Jarvie, thank you so much for being here. Oh, I love it, Jarvie, so much. Okay.
We love a Jarvie.
My partner on Class Act in the show was talking about it
Yes.
earlier, so. There we go. So I guess that's the last question that they have, people. So
All right.
Danny?
Y'all, 2 hours and 30 minutes into Sean Sullivan and Jillian.
Oops.
Thank you.
We got 5 more hours, you guys. What are we doing?
5 more hours to go.
I think the audience wants to go to sleep.
All right, we'll let y'all go. We'll let y'all go to bed. That's fine.
Thank you so much to everyone who is inside of the chat. Thank you to everyone who has subscribed to our channel. Please make sure that you like, comment, and subscribe on this video after the live stream is done. We really appreciate anyone who has been here. We really appreciate Jillian and Sean who is here. So do y'all have anything that you would like to plug right now?
No. Find me on Twitter. I mean, I don't really.
I'm a type man.
You know what? I'll tell you what. One day I will make a YouTube video of some sort. Aside from that, no, I got nothing.
Fair enough.
I'm his hype man. I'm the one who.
I got nothing.
I'm the one who's got all of his nonsense going on. So,
Jill, tell us your Twitter handle.
my Twitter handle is Jilly Marie, 2 Y's, 2 E's, JILLYYMARIE. Freaking Saul, what are you doing?
Saul is here now.
No, Saul.
I think he's here.
He's here in the
Because I just
shadows.
got. I
He's
just
been
got.
texting Jake too the whole time. Jake supposedly. So.
Shadows.
Dark.
What are you doing? No, so I'm Jilly Marie
I love
on pretty much
Saul.
everything.
I love Saul,
Instagram, Twitter. I have all my cosplay crap on Instagram. I have all my Schmoedown nonsense on Twitter. Follow me. It's a party.
And I try to use Twitter, and I don't use any other social
No.
media
That's why I'm a type man.
aside from as communicating every once in a while. But yeah, I'm not very good at the social medias, mostly because I had to use it in the past for work, and after that I don't use it at all for personal. So
Makes sense. I get that. Cash and cat. So.
Paul, where are you at, babe?
At Paul_DiNuzzo on Twitter. I'm also on Chilled Action every week, like I said. I've also been a stalwart on Call to Action Live recently. Hopefully that'll continue. Me and Alex go at it quite a bit. I also will plug real quick my shows. I have Clax Action with Richard Eric Jarvie on the Action Industries YouTube channel. Thank you, Ben and Drew, for letting me do that weekly. Saturdays, usually around 4, they drop. And I just started my own YouTube channel called PLD Projects. Really new. I just had I have about 3 Star Wars shows up to try to do quick short form content. Star Wars show called PLD 1138, and I also have a V show coming out called PLD Views. And if you know V from the 80s, it's one of my favorite sci-fi shows. So it's slowly developing. Not C2A1K, it's PLD1C. I'm just trying to get the 100 subscribers. Let's go there slowly.
Yes, y'all.
I'm subscribed on there, Paul.
Yes.
I did see that. I was very excited to see that.
So have I. I think I was like number 3, maybe. But like honestly, y'all, please subscribe to my work husband, Paul DiNuzzo, on PLD 1388 and all of that good stuff. Y'all know me, Danny Joy. You can find me on Twitter at DANNDANIEEJOY. That's how we do it. Also, you can find me on YouTube. I'm trying to do the same thing that Paul is doing. We're trying to do stuff. That's what it is. But other than that, you can find me here every Monday on the Call to Action podcast doing Chill to Action because I love this. I love what we do. I love the Schmoedown and all of that good stuff. Big shout out to everyone who is in the industry. Thank you so much to everyone who has subscribed to our channel. 1,000 subscribers. We are so excited about all of that. So thank you so much. 100% thank you to Jill and Sean who are here with us tonight. This is a Call to Action podcast. Call to Action streams from the Action Industries. The call to the Team Action guys, Ben and Drew. Thank you so much. So make sure that you like and subscribe on their channel, Action Industries, and their Patreon. All of that good stuff.
Yeah, keep me employed there. So I like that.
Yeah, get Paul paid, whatever. It's cool.
They paid the big bucks.
Again, thank you so much. White Claw sponsor us. We appreciate it. Thank you, everyone who is here in the chat tonight. We love it. Jill, Sean, we love y'all.
Love you.
This was fun. 2 hours.
It was fun.
Can't believe it.
Let's do it again.
We will. We definitely
Yes,
will.
please.
let's go.
Anytime I can have Star Wars talk, bring it on. Bring it on.
Anytime,
Y'all talk about Star Wars. We'll talk about.
anytime
Disney,
you
it'll be a
want
good
us
time.
on, we'll come on.
Sounds good, my friend.
That's
All
how-
right. As always, we salute you.
Y'all have a good